Hey, everybody, welcome to Comic Book Curation. I'm Polly, and joining me, as always, is Quiz. Quiz, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm feeling a little sassy today. If anyone's been looking at my
No
Twitter
one reads your
account
Twitter.
lately, so
And rounding out our triumvirate of
yeah,
awesome is
I
Jack
kind of
from Bad
figured.
Comic Reviews. Jack, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing, Polly?
Jittery. I'm fucking jittery. As I was just telling these guys before we went live, I have not eaten all day, but I downed 2 rock stars back to back, so I got the taurine going on right now. And hopefully it'll a bit. I just had a banana, so I had something that qualified as food.
So if he keels over from a hypertension, you guys know.
Yeah.
Don't call 911. The stream will be fine. We'll be given Polly's channel. Yeah. We will continue on in
The
in
password
his
is
memory.
fuck you. That's the... And joining us, we have Doug Rampant, Old Guy Gamer, and Mike Parlett, TOS, formerly Rodline, Doug Rampant again, some asshole named Bad Comic Reviews, Hazmat Sad Boy.
I
He's
like
quirky,
that guy.
but, you know, that way. BG's here.
That's a nice way to say it. Weird.
TOS again, Doug Rampant again, just scrolling down. Evil One, of course. How's it going, Evil One? And I thought I saw Far here somewhere. Oh, there's Jordan 250. How's it going? Gamer Valine's here. What's up, Gamer? Jordan Edwardson. Man, all sorts of people. This is awesome. Now I actually feel bad for starting really late. Hammond Beans. I like that name. Hammond Beans.
Hammond beans.
Oh, there's
Oh, I see.
yeah,
It's
Hammond.
Hammond.
Yeah, Cracked is here.
Beans.
And Evolve Potato. Thank you for posting our links already. Evolve Potato. Great. Angela's here. Hey, Angela.
Hell yeah.
All right, Shady Grin's here. Okay, there we go. So, lots of people. And Far saying, God damn it, Polly. Well, it wouldn't be a stream if I wasn't annoying the fans.
Aww. That was the thing that happened earlier today, was that Sony DMCA'd their own video. But
Which
apparently
video?
they fixed it. There's a new thing. PlayStation's official Twitter account had put up a video for The Last of Us, but they already DMCA'd themselves. So the video in question showed up as a broken link, and it was really funny.
Weird. Well, Potato says, I think you guys are out of sync.
Out of sync. I don't want to tell you to refresh
Not
the
doing that.
Hangouts, Polly.
That'll just, whew,
All right.
there be dragons. Okay. Oh yeah, Doug Rampant says, I even clicked the like button. Hey, if you haven't done so already, please click that like button, because it'll help me in the algorithm. Not that anything does anymore, because we're in the modern era of YouTube where nothing helps. But your tags, it doesn't matter about anything. If you're not unboxing children's toys or showing people how to put on makeup, well, fuck you! It's true. I'm bitter about it, but it's true nonetheless.
I don't know. I feel mildly targeted by that.
Now,
Stop on. What are you doing? Opening children's makeup? I don't understand. How did you feel targeted?
opening children's makeup. Yes.
Hey,
Combine the
how
two.
I support my channels is nobody's business.
Okay, you want to talk about targeting? Okay, let's talk about targeting. If anyone who tuned into Cocktail Hour with Weebo Jones and myself over on her channel, check it out, because it's awesome. Mostly because I'm there, but Weebo helps out a little bit.
And he's modest too.
Okay, there we go. Got the screen up for you guys. And I believe I won't be showing my hentai collection. If I do... No, hold on.
So we're just seeing
Yeah,
OBS
that's fine.
stuff.
That's good stuff.
Oh, okay.
Hoping for the hentai. I just got an important notice, Polly. Said the stream is live. Yeah, it's usually a good sign.
I love it when YouTube's like up to date. And see, now that the COVID thing is closing down, what do you think they're going to use for their new excuse that their site totally fucking sucks?
They probably all get leprosy from the hobos out there.
Okay, yeah, here. There we go. Oh shit, it worked. Okay, so this is today's thumbnail. Sexy comic book lady, Western comic book lady, in latex. And I did this deliberately. Deliberately. And you know why? Because I got an email from YouTube saying that some of my thumbnails have been taken down for overt sexuality.
Well, that's not latex. That's totally lycra.
I can't help but think you've missed the entire point I was making there.
Wait, how is that a thing? Like, they're not naked. I don't understand what the problem is.
Well, God forbid they go back and look for the Philly D's videos.
Oh, they won't. He's an exempted person. They like him. He's of the party.
He's of the party. Okay, well, this bugs me. Now, here's the thing, chat and Jack and Quiz. And I'm probably making a mistake by doing this. The thumbnails, as I make them in Photoshop, are not named in sequence with the numbers of the shows. So they're just named in sequence of the order that I created them. And since for our first, 10, 12 episodes, there weren't custom thumbnails, right? They're all out of sequence. And then some days we miss, and then other days, because some of us are busy or whatever. So anyway, there's no way to know directly. And it says thumbnail for episode X was taken down because of overt sexuality. Thumbnail for episode, Y was taken down for overt sexuality. And I'm like, oh, fuck. How am I going to find out which ones those are? And it's like, I could open up and I did. I kind of nailed it down to which ones they were. I don't think I got all of them. There's 3 or 4 that are missing. If you go to my channel and scroll through all the comic book curation videos, you'll just see the comic book curation live logo. They deliberately took it. It's like, would you like to disagree with this? And it's so clear that a bot took them down. You guys want to see which ones were taken down? Too hot for YouTube.
Yeah. And too hot for YouTube.
It's going to become
$5.99 a minute.
It's going to become clear very quickly what the bot is detecting. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Real quick.
I'm guessing titties. Oh no, I'm guessing butts then.
Real quick. Thank you, Cryptic. I stole $5 from the stiff guy, but forgot to check his pulse. Might be dead, but this cash is for you, bud. Thanks, Cryptic. And he probably died of the COVID. It's fine.
There's the first one that was taken down. I don't see an issue with it either. I don't understand why people have a problem with the blunderbuss pirate lady here. And that bugs me. But I thought, okay, what? You thought she was naked because the kind of thong disappears up her butt and you can't really see? Is that what's going on? And then I looked, and then, okay, so what other ones were taken down? And this one really bugged me because I worked on this fucking thumbnail. There we go. That one was taken down. See what I'm saying? It's butts, right? Now, here's the deal. This one bugged me because I worked on it. There used to be a Superman up here, looking down on Diana from the cloud. So I had to get what?
At her butt.
Well, no, he's kind of looking at her face. Actually, it's weird. In any case, I had to get rid of his dumb ass, and then there was a building over here that I had to get rid of. I just wanted her against a nightscape. So this one, busted my ass to show her ass, and this is the thanks I get. Thanks, YouTube. So this one was taken down. It's up on the stream in your face. Let's see if the stream gets taken down for overt sexuality. I don't know if it's clear as to why I picked this for today's thumbnail. Fuck you, YouTube. That's why.
I hate to say it, but since it's probably a bot doing it, I bet it thinks they're boobs.
I mean, maybe because both those are bare butts. So it's skin tone and the curves. I mean, the bot knows garbage in, garbage out, right? The bot only knows what it is set to detect, but has clearly got a butt detector attached with it. But,
yeah,
butt detector.
When I was looking through the thumbnail, some things occurred to me. Why would it have nailed those, but not this one? Aphrodite 9 here.
Because it doesn't look like, because it's not angled, like boobs would be. Her legs
Well-
are farther apart.
Okay, cheeks aren't meeting.
Yeah.
The crease going out to the thigh on all those others, when they meet in the center, it probably, I don't know, they think that probably means more naked than this does, because this you
Wait.
can quite clearly see underwear going full through to the undercarriage.
Are you saying that because Aphrodite has taint protection, they're discriminating against the others? That's awful. I don't like this.
Yeah, right. Robots can detect your butt
I
cleavage,
don't know.
Jack.
You
That's
seem to be
terrible.
laying a large amount of credibility over to the bot. I mean, if you look at this one, it's just. I think it's because there's nothing else going on in the background. It just is what it is, if you know what I mean.
I'm seeing butts meet.
I think they just have a
Yeah,
problem with
okay.
strong women.
That
And
too.
then, of course, this one. Why wasn't this one taken down? I mean, you want to talk about overt sexuality?
Because it's
Butt-
festive.
Butt cheeks
Oh, holy
aren't
fuck,
meeting.
Quiz. You come up with an
Flesh is
idea
not
and hold
meeting
on to it like a
flesh.
fucking Doberman.
I'm
Just you're deconstructing the joke. Let's laugh at
I have
YouTube
yet to be
being a
proven
bunch
wrong.
of fucking Puritan assholes. We could find on YouTube naked fucking yoga, and you're obsessed with butt cheeks meeting as the bot's impetus for its existence. What I mean, what?
Yes.
No, Quiz might be onto something here. This might just be that the algorithm has developed a fetish, and it's a shameful one
For butts.
for taint coverage.
Yeah, okay.
It's some sort of like semi-Puritan feminist android. Skynet, when it comes online, is going to just be some man-hating puritanical. Oh my god, it'll be Muslim.
See, Mike is on my side. Butt cheek bot.
I don't know. I
Uh-huh.
think we're just discovering your fetish, not the bot's.
Hey, I like butt cheeks. The booty cheeks.
Now, okay, no, wait a minute then. Are you trying to tell me that those butt cheeks aren't meeting inside? I mean, they're being forced together by that material.
Yes, but the way that the shot is angled out, you can see, undercarriage, right? It's separating the flesh of the butt cheeks. Those other ones, the butt cheeks are meeting. It's flesh on flesh.
I have evidence counter.
It doesn't like the flappy of.
That one's not going to get. Yeah, our new one's not going to get. Because it may have butts, but it doesn't have butt cheeks meeting. The butt cheeks are not being introduced to each other.
Jordan and a couple other people pointed out that it might be the thigh gap. Like it thinks there's thigh gaps and they're like too sexy because they're not big heffalumps.
Okay, hold on for a second. Look, okay, let us look at this one. Butt cheeks are meeting.
Yeah, but she's like Asian,
No,
so
it's
they're
Aspen.
okay with
She ain't
it.
Asian.
Well, she looks Asian.
Well, has that one been
That one's
flagged?
still up.
Yes.
No, I'm with Frosted Glass. He said not letting butt cheeks meet is segregation, pure and simple.
Right? Can't segregate righty and lefty.
Hold on. And here's the one. Okay. Not only are butt cheeks meeting in this one, okay, I actually had to go in Photoshop and put this fake little thong there that wasn't there in the original image, just to make
it. Because the original image, she didn't have any.
That one is still
pants.
Yeah,
just give it time.
Because they think that's a dude or something.
Give it time.
Give it time. I'm just going to take this opportunity to say, as I have before, sexy colonial marines, more sexy colonial marines. It's a good thing. I don't understand why. Thank you very much, Pete, for the donation for the $10. Very generous. I was going to give this to Jack, but the old man I mugged for it, was a Polydub fan, and his last request is that I donate to his medication money to you instead. So, enjoy. Well, Yeah, that old man didn't need his meds. I appreciate it. It's fine. Better in my hands.
Let's put it this way, Polly. I can find plenty of sexy colonial marines, but can't use them for
Are they
thumbnails.
like alien rapage?
R34. Oh, dude, facehuggers are like prime for alien
Yeah,
rapage.
I meant like
Think
sexy,
about
like that woman
That's
is sexy.
gross.
Like, you know, I'm gonna go kill some aliens,
Yeah.
and so what? I'm scantily clad. Sometimes armor gets ripped off. Am I right? Like that's what.
So what if I'm not wearing pants?
I still don't get why she's not wearing pants or underwear. I'm not complaining. It's just a little weird. So this out of frustration is my shitposty stream. That's why I deliberately put like a big old butt in the thumbnail, because it's like, God damn it, YouTube. There's literal naked yoga all over YouTube. Stretched vajayjay. You can see everything. The taint, the lips, the everything. It's fat material. And they're not doing yoga like, okay, let's do downward facing dog. Okay, let's do warrior pose. They're doing like sexy dances while they do it. This is clearly fat material, and it's up just simply because it's under instructional.
I feel slightly judged right now. Again, look, sexy yoga is definitely a moneymaker. So they're probably thinking of all the money they're making off of that, but they're like, those sexy comic girls, we can't have that. That's attracting the male gaze or something.
Well, you know, they've got to show solidarity for all of those cam girls in their fight against Project Melody.
Yeah. All right, yeah, chat. While I'm at it, I forgot to ask. Let me know if our mic levels are, somebody's quiet, somebody's loud, somebody's, you know, whatever, out of balance. You know, I do have to complain about something today, gentlemen. Today's articles are, I don't know, man. They're pretty gripey. Everything. There's not a lot of fun stuff to talk about. It's been a rough week in comic books news.
We'll make them fun. I think we're up to the task.
Yeah, and like I'm just looking through all the tabs I got, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know where to start. Should we like rip the Band-Aid off and start with the really depressing stuff first? That kind of thing?
Sure.
Is this about Mark Ruffalo? Oh, thank God. Okay.
Well, he's not.
Sure.
He's not in the title this time around.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we still hate him, so
that
True.
didn't change.
Yeah.
Fuck that
All right,
guy.
let's,
okay, sorry.
Marvel Spider-Man quietly teases a very different Avengers team. Ironheart.
Quietly. That's not quiet.
Yeah,
There's Ironheart right there.
By leaking it to your media shills at CBR, will do whatever their masters tell them at DC. Marvel's Spider-Man introduces two Avengers interns, which may lead the web slinger to forming his own team of Earth's mightiest teenage heroes.
I've got to notice it's not an exclusive.
I know. Everything's in TLDR now. Like, whatever. The cast of Marvel Spider-Man has grown over his 3 seasons, with fan favorite heroes joining the web slinger to fight crime and save the world. Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, and Anna Corazon have all gained spider abilities similar to Peter Parker, making it spiders abound everywhere. The animated show diluting Spider-Man as a unique superhero, making him kind of boring. I just added that last part in, but it's true.
Fan favorites like Gwen Stacy.
You know, whenever we read an article like that, I mean, I know we've picked on it before, but Christ, it's true every time. They'll talk about, you know, Ghost Spider, or they'll talk about America Chavez, and it's always with language. It's just, when America Chavez burst onto the scene to unbelievable fandom, and it's like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Who's actually reading
Maybe
that?
if we keep repeating it, they'll think it's true.
Other than people on 4chan that are just trying to troll what's her nuts.
Well, heroes on the Avengers like Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, and Captain Marvel are seasoned veterans. A younger generation of Earth's mightiest heroes is waiting in the wings for their opportunity to show what they're made of. Recent developments in Marvel Spider-Man Maximum Venom lead us to believe that this crop of teen heroes may team up with Spider-Man and his allies to form their own support team, super team of young Avengers. Gee, did you just copy and paste the press release?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it does
Fucking
sound like it.
hell.
Oh my god, are they called the Beta Avengers? Because that would be hilarious.
Look at Derpy Hulk.
Yeah. Bro Hulk.
The two-part Amazing Friends follows Spider-Man as he attempts to translate a message from toddler Groot. Star-Lord sent Groot to Earth with a very important message regarding an alien invasion by the symbiotes, but Spider-Man isn't able to translate Groot speak. When AIM starts hunting for Groot, Spider-Man goes, okay, yeah, this is just... Riri Williams was a teenager at MIT when she stole her own Iron Man suit from recovered parts. You mean thieved parts?
Out of a trash
She
can.
would go on to fill the role of Iron Man after Tony Stark was left in a coma. I mean, look at this. This is just a press release. Another young hero to debut is Amadeus Cho, the totally awesome Hulk. Amadeus Cho is known as the seventh smartest person in the world. Thank you, Evolved Potato, for the donation. Okay, Polly, you are definitely a couple of seconds ahead of Jack and Quiz, and it's really putting me off.
Really?
It's really odd because we're all hearing each other in proper time.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I don't know what to tell you. That happened to me on another stream a while ago. And I think it was yesterday anyway. But yeah, I just had to refresh the stream a few times. Sorry, man.
Yeah. I was going to say F5.
The viewer just had to refresh the stream to get it synced. Huh.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting here just kind of like thinking, how would that even happen and what would I do to address it?
On our end, I have no idea.
I mean, sorry, man, but I'm not even really sure how that's happening, much less how to fix it. That sucks. So if I call Jack an asshole, well, you guys won't hear his reaction for like a while. Jack, you asshole.
Yeah. Getting off scot-free there for a little bit.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with him.
Apparently, there's a blueprint that you can find and download of Ripley getting out of a full suit, spacesuit, into a tank top and underwear. That's pretty cool, but it's the only thing I've found so far for sexy colonial marines.
The whole thing with Riri stealing Stark tech from the dumpster at MIT, they made a hilarious reference to that in Batman's Grave #5, where he gets shot in the back, and Gordon's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, armor." And he's like, "Huh, where'd you get that?" And he's like, "Found it in a dumpster behind MIT." I thought it was hilarious because just the banter between the two was. I just immediately thought of Riri Williams looting the trash can. And I'm picturing Batman
I still
stealing
can't
shit.
believe they made Amadeus Cho, the Korean guy, a math expert. Like, really? Really? You made the Asian guy the math expert?
Biggest career. Well, yeah. I mean, he could be kung fu. He's Korean.
I was gonna say you got to remember, Polly. Stereotypes exist and they use them, but if you ever mention that stereotype, you're the racist.
True. Is it like, I mean, but how true is what you just said? Like, I mean, it's very true is what I'm saying. Like, you will,
yes,
they will promote a stereotype and do something specific, or do something specifically because it's edgy. Like, oh yeah, this is edgy, this is cool. And then when it catches notice, they call you a bigot or a racist for pointing out, Jesus Christ, you really did that. You made the black teenage girl a thief. That's how she got started, by stealing. Why did you do that? And it's like, oh, I see. So you think, oh, black people are thieves. Wait, you wrote it. You wrote it. What?
You're the
Why are
one.
you calling me the stereotyper? I didn't write it. You want to talk about something that's interesting along those lines. When you see interracial couples, there's a media review in terms of a content analysis that was done. 85% of interracial couples are what? Take a guess.
Black
Yep.
male.
85%. And I mean, this is not black and white. We're talking all races and genders. So where's the Latino man, Asian woman, for example? It might happen somewhere, but whenever a writer sits down to write something and they're like, I want to do an interracial couple, the first thing that comes to their mind is black man, white woman. Now, why they're doing that? I don't know. You'd have to ask the writers that do that over and over and over again. And when you point it out, I wouldn't want to be the one to point it out because it's going to be, oh, I see. You got a problem with a black man with a white woman, right? Wait, hold on. You wrote it. You wrote it 85% of the time. Why do you keep doing that? It's like, well, I'm just into diversity. No. That's not diverse. That's consistent. Why didn't you have and I mean, just the gender reversal is rarefied. White male character, black female character in a romantic relationship, very uncommon.
Well, you know why?
No, I don't actually. I'm like, why do they keep doing that? When I read that content analysis, I was like, really?
Well, that perpetuates the idea of oppressed and oppressor. White male oppressing a black female.
You think they don't do that because of that?
Yes, I absolutely 100% believe that.
All I know is that in all of my fan fiction that I write myself, it's me with 4 Mormon Asian chicks who all marry me for citizenship reasons and true love, and they all want to bring their extended cheerleader family. So I don't know why this one type of stereotype exists in their world when I have a much more diverse.
Yeah, I just want to say this sentence out loud. Mormon cheerleading Asian wives. Okay. I just wanted to say it out loud.
Why are you so judgy
I
today?
didn't judge.
I feel like you're just shitting all over my alternative lifestyle.
I know that's my job.
Right? Real quick, thank you, Pete, for the donation. It's very generous. I was gonna give this to Polly, but the old man I mugged, well, you know,
died from his lack of medication.
Thanks, Pete.
Well, that happened 2 posts ago.
We were running a show.
Right.
You pulled a Biden on me, man?
Child's Play creator discusses embracing the franchise's gay identity. I don't know.
What?
Well, you didn't see this in the group post?
Jack sent this one to us in our group DMs. I didn't read it because I read the headline and I'm like, no, I'm not spoiling it for myself. Fuck it. We're going to do it live. This is great. Okay, let's find out what's happening here. Don Mancini.
Look at that chubby little face. Does he just look super gay to you?
Come on.
Oh, he looks like a
Yeah.
total power bomb.
You look hard enough at his little striped shirt here. You'll see the pride flag, I think. Don Mancini, who created the Child's Play horror film series, will be back for its TV reboot, Chucky. Talked about the LGBT response to his work. There was one? I don't know.
What?
Don Mancini, creator of the Child's Play horror series, didn't originally set out to create an icon for LGBT audiences. Once they responded to the representation and themes in his work, though, he was all in. What?
What?
I don't understand.
How is Chucky gay?
Hammond pointed out that Chucky got married to a woman doll.
Yeah.
But I think the stabbing is a metaphor. I don't know. Because wasn't Chucky trying to kill some little kid in the first movie? I don't think gays want to be associated with that.
Well, not only was he trying to kill a kid in the first movie, he was trying to take over the kid's body. And
Yeah.
and the very first kill in the first Child's Play, by the murder doll Chucky, was not a stabbing. He threw her out a window.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were gay, would you really want to be associated with somebody trying to steal a child's body? I'm
It
just
seems like really bad
spitballing here.
optics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this similar to how some really weirdo gay people were latching onto Pennywise the Clown?
I don't know. Let's just
Uh,
yeah. You know what,
no.
BG? Okay, so Chucky is an adult man trying to get into a male child's body. Is that the theme? Is that
Yeah.
what we're gonna discover here?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
No, that
No,
was
I
that
get
was the
that,
first
but it's
movie.
Is this guy
Yeah.
trying to link the thing that has been called homophobic forever, linking pedophilia and homosexuality? Because that sounds like where it's going.
That would
Yeah,
be
this
a
sounds
really
like
bad
a mess.
idea.
It's not true, and I get it. It's an ugly stereotype, and LGBT need to do a better job of keeping maps out of their community, in my opinion. But anyway. Let's find out. What?
He made a good point. Jason Voorhees is gay because he kills girls who have sex. It all makes
So
sense
that doesn't make
now.
him gay. It makes him like a big, brutish, murdering incel. I don't get the pussy. No one will. Here, let me throw you against a tree.
The very first kill in the first Friday the 13th movie was him impaling two people fucking, like with a rod. Draw whatever conclusions you may from that.
As far as complaining
killing
that I'm
you,
making her think about J Station videos. Well, that's your own fault for watching J Station, isn't it? Isn't it? Oh,
the
you
fuck is
just stay
J-Station?
right where you're at. You're in the best place possible. Just okay, let's read
Okay.
on. Quote, we've sort of embraced, over the years, a kind of specific gay identity for the franchise. Mancini said in an interview with Sci-Fi Wire. Well, there's where you started wrong, man. You went and talked to Sci-Fi. Given the various styles of horror, camp, and humor that the movies have covered since it was first released in 1988, it's easy to see how that identity would organically evolve. No, it's not easy to see. You're confusing everyone.
Well, not only that, how does that fit in with your how does Bride of Chucky fit into your bullshit narrative there,
Hold on for a second.
dude?
He's only got
That's
this
his
little
beard.
extra paragraph to explain it. Let's see if it actually manages to pull it off. Although the series has been appreciated for its inclusion of positive gay characters and even a kind of non-binary doll, as well as LGBT actors, its mainstay character Chucky isn't exclusively meant to be an LGBT symbol. Mancini explained the role of the psychotically murderous toy, saying, quote, we plug him in as a different metaphor depending on the era we're in. I think it's just being attentive to what's going on in the culture and what is going on in the zeitgeist at any given time, and then using Chucky to get all those issues in an interesting, fun way. That explained nothing.
I think Mancini.
What are you fucking talking about?
Yeah. I think Mancini is just letting other people just run rampant with it and say, yeah, sure, dude, whatever. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. This might have been his response to one of those gotcha questions, like the whole trans Spider-Man thing or gay Spider-Man. He might have just been like, yeah, gay icon, whatever, cool. That was the intention the whole time. Just give me your money.
No, I love it. We plug him in as a different metaphor depending on the era we're in. I think it's just being attentive to what's going on in the culture and what is going on in the zeitgeist at any given time, and then using Chucky to get those issues in an interesting, fun way. You know what that entire run-on sentence was?
Nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, Chucky's going to be a hipster, vegan, non-binary doll who's real concerned about climate change, and he's killing climate denier Republicans, right?
Yeah, Snubber says Bride of Chucky made their son ambiguous half the movie. I bet this is it kind of sounds like it, but I like the, this was his answer to a gotcha question, meaning maybe it sounds so vague because the question that was asked of him kind of put him in a spot where it's some LGBT people talk about who tout themselves as leaders in the LGBT community talk about that they really love this film franchise. What do you think about the LGBT community embracing your franchise? What are you going to say? No, I don't like the gays. No, you say, yeah, this is fucking great, because the last thing you want is an article saying creator of Chucky is homophobic as fuck.
Well, what is wrong with standing up to these retards sitting there saying like, cool, dude, you can like him however you want, but that's not how I wrote it.
Because these retards run Hollywood and you'll never work again.
You're not wrong, because when you have a shill site like CBR, and like, I mean, they're peak shill, right? Look, keep reading. What's the very next? Excuse me. What's the very next article? Theory: Pixar's first LGBT couple wasn't in Finding Dory. It was earlier. Do you see?
It's Buzz Lightyear and Woody.
It just keeps going. We will postulate theory after thing. I mean, theory, blah 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 blah. Like, fuck.
Real quick, thank you, Jordan250. Best thing about coma patients is they don't care who you give their money to. That's a true story. Thank you.
That's a really good point.
I don't care when you rob them either. Like, if their wallet's there, I mean, it's if their loved ones leave stuff, it's fine.
They're not there to object to my power of attorney claims.
Can you fake the penmanship of a comatose man by holding his hand? No, you can't, Jack. Stop it. You're going to get busted.
Well, no, sure you can.
You have no evidence one way or another.
You just scribble on and say he stroked out halfway through writing his name.
I was there. I saw it.
Right? I can corroborate. Now give me my money.
So this article made me happy. I'm not really sure what to think about it. Just waiting for it to load here. I forgot I unloaded all the tabs to stress on my potato. By the way, my Streamlabs is available for anybody who wants to help me upgrade my potato. MCU rumor: Mandalorian actor Giancarlo Esposito being eyed for an X-Men franchise reboot. I'm happy about this. Giancarlo Esposito is a fantastic fucking actor, man. The guy's completely underrated. I was so happy that he got into the... Love this guy.
What's the Mandalorian?
Really? Jackass?
It wouldn't be me if I didn't do.
Let's face it, there was little hope
oh my god
that there weren't going to be sweeping changes made to the X-Men as their MCU debut slowly approaches. But if fans had their hearts set on seeing the X-Men even remotely like they used to be at Fox, I'm sorry to say, it was never quite likely. Had a really long fucking run. Shit. Although movie studios seem to be slowly coming back to their senses, we, unfortunately, have to put up with the obnoxious Puritans that will try and set the internet ablaze with ridiculous internet activism. True. Well, the MCU won the hearts of millions with their first round of storytelling. The later parts began to give way to various distracting agendas. True. Well, at least one or two of the films. Well, and the rest of them as well. Wait for them to come out. You'll see. At this point, I believe it's safe to expect that the next phase of the MCU will be drastically different than the first. If the marketing choices behind Captain Marvel and the unnecessary emphasis on diversity in the Eternals says anything, it's anything to follow is more than likely to be of the same ilk. Probably true. What is this, an opinion? I'm going to get to the fucking room. The X-Men and the Fantastic Four will undoubtedly be nothing like we've seen before. That will be by design, not just political and ideological pandering. Movie studios boss Kevin Feige has no interest in retreading any ground that was previously ventured by the franchise past proprietors and his former bosses. This is probably why they'll be basing much of their scripts on the Ultimate X-Men as opposed to the more traditional universe stories found in the main Marvel Comics universe. I expect an unconventional starting X-Men lineup as well as changes to sexuality, gender, and races. Oh, thank you, Jordan250 for the $5. This guy's a vegetable. I'm just harvesting some greens from him and giving them to you. That
makes sense.
The word harvesting in relation to a comatose man just kind of, I don't know, makes me shiver in creepiness.
Well,
I'm just saying, Jordan, you leave his fucking kidneys and anything he's got two of, you leave those organs the fuck alone, man, okay? Stealing money's one thing, stealing internal organs is something entirely different.
He'll leave
Whatever,
him in
he's
a,
got spares, Jordan. You do you.
he'll leave him in a bathtub full of ice. He'll
You
be
do
fine.
you. It's not a fucking fashion choice. You're not saying it's okay to wear salmon-colored dress shirts. You're talking about stealing organs, Jack.
Stealing or liberating. We don't know how those organs identify. They may identify as autonomous beings.
Excuse me, Jack. Emancipating.
Yes, they are emancipating them. Just like abortionists emancipate fetuses and
So is there any
cells.
suggestion
Mhm.
to...
I don't know. I got nothing. I'm half awake, so I'm gonna get you in trouble if I keep talking.
As compared to last week when you started postulating about T-1000 with giant ball sack legs? I mean, really?
Giant
to be
cock.
fair,
T1000.
his body was a giant penis, so it was all related.
Yeah, it's a giant cock T1000 with
And
ball
I
legs.
still giggle thinking about that. So.
Wait, I had a question, but I'm leaving it alone. Okay, look. I want to know.
This is for
I
me,
want to know who Giancarlo's
Polly.
going to play here. So are they going to have him play Professor X here? They got, which finally brings us to the subject of today. Well, it took you fucking long enough. One of the first rumored changes to the franchise surrounds the creator of the X-Men, Professor Charles Francis Xavier, traditionally Professor X, an unfathomably rich teacher, archaeologist, philanthropist, geneticist, and engineer. He's also traditionally a white man. For the better part of 2 years, there have been rumors that both Professor X and his rival/friend Magneto will most likely see changes to their character. As we spoke of earlier, it was inevitable. The only real question was, who? Well, we may have an answer. As reported by fortressofsolitude.co.za, Hollywood is whispering about veteran actor Giancarlo Esposito taking up the role of the good professor. You know, this puts me in a bad spot because I dig Esposito so much as an actor. I don't want to say no, but I want to say no because it's just what the fuck. Do you know what I mean?
I don't even know
No?
who this dude is.
He's I don't know. He's never really gotten his props, if you know what I mean. He's tend to get it a bunch of B parts. He was in Breaking Bad. I think that's where a lot of people know him from. I remember him from.
Oh, wait, is that Gus?
I never watched Breaking Bad. Is that his character's name there?
I don't know. Let me see the picture there. I think so. Here, wait, hold on. Let me. Giancarlo.
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
Giancarlo. If you remember Usual Suspects fairly well, he was the first detective that got on to Kaiser Soze. He was the first one that suspected it. The guy that was pulling the bodies out of the harbor and then sending the sketch image fax over to the police station where Chaz Palminteri was interrogating Verbal. He was the guy at the hospital that was dealing with the burned up guy in the bed that had actually seen Kaiser Soze.
Okay. And yeah, I just looked it up. He is Gus Fring.
Okay. And then there's straight Sith mail saying, yes, that is.
I
mean, that guy he's always rocked any role he's been in. He's one of those. It's like Courtney B. Vance.
Yeah.
That guy never gets his props, and he's a great actor. I remember because they were together in a movie, and it's like, why do guys like that always get B roles? It depends on who your agent is and who's the casting director for movies. He was fantastic in School Days. If anyone's ever seen that psychotically creative film of Spike Lee's called School Days, he's the head of the fraternity, the president and head of initiates, and he's a crazy man in that. Great.
Look, this guy's a solid actor, but I think it's a bad idea to cast him as Professor X. Mark Strong would be a much better casting.
Oh my God, Mark Strong could play literally everyone, man.
Yeah,
fucking hell, Mark Strong is amazing.
Absolutely. I think it's a really bad idea to do race swapping on the characters because I would prefer they stayed true to the characters. But a Black Magneto, how is that going to look the first time he summons a bunch of metal to him and it's like hubcaps and shit? You know that's getting memed in about 3 seconds.
Jesus Christ, Jack.
Well, you know,
I'm just saying, you're opening the door for people to create the racism that you're.
You know what I thought you were going to say?
Fighting.
Like, wait a minute. How was he a Jew in a Nazi concentration camp as a black man?
No, I just assume he's a black Hebrew Israelite.
Right.
No, I think
Well,
Giancarlo could be
he does
okay
have a
as
more traditional
Professor
Hispanic
X.
name, Giancarlo Esposito, right? So it could be like, oh, he was in the
Yeah.
concentration camps of Donald Trump on the southwest border of the United States.
Yeah.
Well, no, if he's Xavier, because Xavier's a Spanish name, isn't it?
No, I don't think
No.
so.
No, I mean, but no, Jack was talking about him playing Magneto. So I was like,
Well, the
I
article's
know,
saying
but Jack,
Xavier.
keep up, quiz.
Yeah, I said Mark Strong should play Xavier. No, look, I just think
Aha! The boy's name Xavier, pronounced Xavier or Xavier, is of Spanish, Arabic, and Basque origin. So yes, it's Spanish.
Basque origin. There's a fucking bounty hunter
I'm
in
glad you
Empire
remembered
Strikes Back.
Bossk. The guy who has no
Basque.
speaking lines.
Oh.
Not Basque.
Oh, not my fault. You don't understand how Star Wars works. Look, I think the guy's a good actor. I just don't think it's a good idea to do a lot of race swapping. You lose your core audience, and
Yeah.
historically, whenever they do that, it just ends up being pandering.
Well, yeah, that's the problem that you've got, or that you run into, is why exactly are you going out of your way? Because I mean, like we've all said, he's not a bad actor. I loved him as Gus Fring in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he's a great actor. I liked him on that too. But the problem is that if they do that, they race swap him, then you're going to have a bunch of underlying racial tones throughout the entire movie because they'll think that it's necessary to put that in.
Yeah,
It's not just that here's a guy who's a really good actor playing this part. They never do that.
Joe Lander says he just popped by to
Otherwise,
say,
we would have had.
and it's
Hi.
Jordan's like he's just gonna be brought to America as a slave, and then 250 years will speed right by, and he's starting the X-Men in upstate New York. It's fine.
Wait a second.
Yeah, it'll be a movie about oppression or some bullshit like that.
Well, no, that's kind of what the X-Men were about. But I know that time skips are kind of a thing in comic books, but that's going a little too far.
Well, yeah, I don't rule it out at this point. Look, all I'm saying is that if they do that, they're gonna add a bunch of weird racial shit that doesn't need to be there, and that nobody actually cares about, and they think they'll be an edgy.
Jesus Christ, Jordan!
Yeah,
I'm not even repeating what you did. Just
real quick. Jordan over on the Streamlabs said, I learned my lesson from stealing organs. The church is really mad about it last time.
Boo! Hey, let's I'm gonna do Polly's predictions here. Outrage is gonna happen because of this. Udon releases its first look at the Street Fighter 2020 swimsuit special. Because, I mean, this isn't body positive. This is just over-sexualizing fighting characters. I mean, this is no good.
There's an artist that did one of the inserts in this that had a Kickstarter that he got funded and never fulfilled.
Great.
Was it Mitch Breitweiser?
No.
Where's my red rooster? Might be angry about.
Is that Adam Warren? That looks like Adam Warren's style. Hey, that's not Poison. It can't be Poison. She's not got pink hair.
The extremely strategic placement of her Chuck Taylor footed foot.
Maybe Roxy.
Yeah, Cammy.
Yeah.
Way again.
Cammy is the best character. I will hear none of that, Jack.
No, it's her foot is in the way again.
No.
This is just, I mean, it's over and over. I'm telling you, there are going to be angry people on the Twitters about this because,
Oh yeah, they're gonna have to chub up some of these chicks.
And Capcom couldn't give the slightest modicum of a fuck. That's why I like Capcom. They've gotten to this point. Okay. For those, do you guys want a little video game history lesson?
No.
Real fast.
No.
Too bad. I'm going to give you one.
You asked. Oh, shit.
So scroll back up to the to that Adam Warren picture. Poison, the character that's supposed to be presented there, was in Japan a woman. right? Looks like a woman, right?
Uh-huh.
This came out in 1991 in the fighting or the brawler Final Fight. And when it came time to localize for the United States, they decided we can't have Western audiences, especially American audiences, have a video game where you're beating up a woman because feminists would sue. So they made Poison into a transgender male to female because apparently in 1991, perfectly fine to beat up a tranny.
Okay.
But
Well,
don't you dare beat up a woman.
Violence against trans people. Very nice.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I'm just gonna say, man, how far have we come from 1991 that the TERFs are still getting their way?
That's funny. Gamer Valine says, body positive, only for fat girls, not fit ones. Well, okay, look. Jack Quiz and I have been having a discussion on this, largely driven by me because, you know, hey, I love the fit girls. And I'll show, remember, I'll show you guys pictures. It's like, okay, look at this woman. This woman's a superhero, but in real life. You know what I mean? Like built women, fucking six packs, like they're, and I mean, not just abs, but like, holy shit, they're fit as fuck. It's insane. It's rare, but that's because they worked hard as fuck to look like that. I mean, why isn't that like, it makes me think about it. I'm going to be lazy as fuck and end up getting fat because I eat a whole bunch of shit and don't ever exercise. Okay. And you're supposed to be positive about that, but you're not supposed to be positive about a muscular, fit woman who's worked very hard to look, get this, traditionally masculine by bulking up, if you know what I mean. Women can bulk up just like men can and still look sexy and look like real life fucking superheroines. It's ridiculous. Look like Diana in the banned thumbnail that they took down. Fuck you, YouTube again. Muscular as fuck. Can't be body positive about that. So Gary Valine's right. Body positive just means fat acceptance. Don't couch it in other names. Don't euphemize it.
To be fair, it's fat and lazy acceptance. Because you're justifying being a big fat fatty for no reason.
It's chubby catering.
We all know
yeah. Oh, that sounds like you're bringing them food.
It does. It actually
Chubby
does.
catering now featured on Western Pound Life.
To, support the feeder lifestyle. That was a bad choice of words.
So we all know Polly's favorite song. She's a brick house.
Secret. Most of the fully ripped ones are on steroids. Men, yeah, I know. Let's see. Now I know what you mean.
Hammond threw out an interesting, totally different subject. If Wolverine was circumcised before he got his powers, would his foreskin grow back?
No. Because okay, remember when you're a mutant, your mutant powers come in at puberty.
Well, I think it comes down to when he was circumcised.
Yeah, well, if he's circumcised,
was this like
as a
a
baby,
drunken binge on a Thursday,
if he was circumcised
when he
before
schnicked the
puberty,
tip of his dick off?
No, it would not grow back. That seems the obvious answer.
I think Jack just implied that he schnicked the tip of his dick off.
Well, I don't know what he does for fun. All I know is that he's got a drinking problem and he's angry a lot,
and so therefore would attack his own dick.
Cyclops sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, maybe
well,
it
after
might
fucking
be
Cyclops.
He might be getting. It might be a fetish thing for him if you think about it, because he's always getting in fights and getting torn up. Maybe he's into
his
that.
Own dick again and again just to have it grow back. Well, no, wait a minute. No, wait.
I'm just saying it's
I don't know isn't a good answer there. You said it. You tell me. I don't know.
Maybe that's Wolverine jelking, Polly.
Yeah, maybe that's just how he gets off or something. I don't know. I don't know what short, angry, hairy Canadians do in their free time. I don't go around
Infinite castration doesn't strike me as one of the
respond
options, Jack. You're the one who came up with this.
I come up with lots of weird shit. You focus on this one. We can talk about the T-1000 penis with the testicle feeding.
What we should talk about is the overarching theme of lots of dicks. What is it with you?
I
Okay,
don't
let's
know.
move
It's
over to
funny.
Darth Vader. And no, it doesn't matter if his dick got burned off on Mustafar, Jack. Let it go.
Wait,
Well, we can
wait,
talk about my Mormon Asian brides again if you want.
wait. Did his dick get burned off on the?
Bitten? Where'd you get that
Well,
from? That's
I don't know.
nightmarish. Like there was a
I'm
turtle
just saying,
come out of the
all
lava.
of his limbs and extremities got burned off. Why would his, I'm just saying. Yeah.
Did he wear a cup beforehand?
I don't think it would have helped. He wearing a cup. Why do people watch us?
People tune in for this. All right. Disney rewrites the Battle of Hoth for Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back's 40th anniversary celebration. Can't be good news. This can't be good news. Okay. I haven't read this article, so let's find out what's going on. Disney and Lucasfilm will continue their work to erode the original trilogy that they began with The Force Awakens. As first reported by Disney Star Wars is Dumb, Star Wars and Lucasfilm released a new animated Star Wars Kids short that reinvents the Battle of Hoth first shown in The Empire Strikes Back. Star Wars Kids released the first 4 parts that retells the Battle of Hoth. The short begins with a voiceover. The Empire Strikes Back as Darth Vader leads an attack against Leia's rebels on Hoth. The first scene sees a rebel soldier then tell Leia, "General, there's a fleet of Star Destroyers coming out of hyperspace in Sector 4. Leia responds, "It's risky, but we can't hold out much longer." From the very beginning, the short is altered to what actually happened in The Empire Strikes Back. What actually happened is that a rebel soldier informs General Regan of the Imperial fleet emerging out of hyperspace. As you can see in the clip below, the soldier tells Regan, "General, there's a fleet of Star Destroyers." Okay, get to the point. Not only does the short remove Regan completely, but also refers to Leia as General. She is not... Okay, is that it? Is that the big change? This isn't the only thing that the short changes. The battle sequences are out of order as well. In short, it shows Vader and his stormtroopers firing upon the Millennium Falcon first before Han activates the ship's gun, or even the gunship. And yes, in The Empire Strikes Back, he actually activates... Yeah, we know that. Is this your problem? This sounds like nerd nitpicking, and they just condensed story and characters.
Well, they had to get rid of General Regan. I mean, he was just stinking up the place.
Yeah, he was an evil white man,
Yeah,
which
Leia's
I know
a
is
white
all
woman.
redundant.
What's your point?
But
Whoosh, Jack, whoosh.
Solo then gives her a slight tug after she gave him one. Leia then tells...
Bend over and show me your dark side.
On a separate note, have you guys seen the deleted scenes from Empire? There's
no.
Okay, so the Wampas, the big old Sasquatch snow creatures.
Yeah.
There's they've got a couple of them caged up inside the rebel base behind a door.
Yeah.
And they've got a sign on the door that says, like, "Danger Wampas," or whatever. Like, don't open this door. C-3PO, one of the deleted scenes, walks up to it and tears the sticker off the door. And shortly thereafter, a stormtrooper opens the door and gets attacked by a Wampa.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that's C-3PO, I think, was actually a serial killer. And he was just going around the galaxy murdering people because it's like, my creator was Darth Vader, and he's got to live with that. Even though they claim to have wiped his memory, I think he secretly remembered, and he was just murdering people as opportunity presented itself. So he's effectively hanging out with a space trucker, Han Solo, going from truck stop to truck stop in space, killing whores. And by whores, I mean stormtroopers.
Well, I mean, that would fit in with his gay profile, right?
I'm just pointing out that people have said, George Lucas, ultimately the point in this is he needs people around him because he's going to go full campy, kid-oriented, bad jokes, etc. when he has no one telling him no. Because look at that scene. You got C-3PO basically playing a murderous prank on stormtroopers. Like, "Hey, I'll tear this sticker off and no one will know." Like, if people talk about, look how kiddie and campy the original trilogy got, or the prequel trilogy got when Lucas was in charge. That element was always there. Look at the Ewoks. Look at those little toaster on wheel droids that were on the Death Star in the first film. To make that little tweet, 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 tweet
Hey.
noise. They've always had cutesy elements in it. The difference is that he had people around him to calm it down, leave it on the cutting room floor in editing, tell him, George, come on, Jesus Christ, what the hell? And kind of, rein him in. Star Wars should have a certain fantastical element that does appeal to children in it. Absolutely. But they've managed to calm down. But the point is, George has always been that way.
You leave my yub nub out of this.
Okay. So I apparently have a castration fixation, while Quiz has a Ewok fixation, and Polly was late because of whores.
Fuck, you don't.
So,
she may
what
have
I'm
gotten
thinking
around, but
this-
she didn't take money for it.
Okay, so she was a slut.
Okay, insulting, but more accurate.
Look,
Fucking hell.
I'll work an Ellen Page reference in here somewhere, but I think C-3PO pulling the sticker off the door in his mind was a prank because he can be reassembled. So death doesn't mean what it means to a human, to a droid. He's like, that stormtrooper, he's just a white robot.
What you're saying is that
You know,
C-3PO particularly, and all droids generally, hold no value in human life.
No, I think he has a fundamental misunderstanding because he really thinks there's only like 5 stormtroopers, and they're reassembled and then they come back. He doesn't realize a bunch of different people.
I think Polly's onto something. Yeah, no, I think you're right, Polly. That droids do have an inherent lack of value in human life. I mean, think about it this way: the creator of both R2D2 and C3PO, he was put back together.
Yeah. So here's the point. Don't turn your back on a droid. He could kill you for the laughs because he thinks she'll be back on the assembly line tomorrow.
Yes.
Right? And he'll be wearing a t-shirt that's like, Droid Lives Matters. Fuck flesh bots.
Flesh bots. Huh. You leave my Japanese sex bots out of this.
No, we don't.
They're fine.
I was gonna say we don't cater to robosexuals here, Jack.
No, and neither does C-3PO because he's the equivalent of a droid turf. He sees cyborgs as an abomination against God and man, which is why he joined the rebellion.
Move on
so
to something positive now. This is positive for me. I don't care if you guys agree or not. Rumor: Ben Affleck to return to Batman for showdown with Deathstroke. Huh?
Oh,
I love me some Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne. So this is possibly very positive. Okay, here we go. We are getting the Snyder Cut of Justice League in 2021. All the more reason to check out HBO Max. And David A. What is this, an advertisement for HBO Max? I'll check out.
I would be okay with the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad too.
And with AT&T keeping the conversation going on social media, and with anything possible, there's more. The Cultured Nerd posted in an exclusive that AT&T and Warner Brothers might just want Ben Affleck to return to the Cape and Cowl and finish his Batman movie, where the Dark Knight was also slated to face Deathstroke, played by Joe Manganiello. They stated, quote, sources close to TNC have informed us that AT&T and Warner Media want Ben Affleck to return as Batman, and also to resume the work to adapt his original script for The Batmarl.
Oh, it's Batman.
Yeah, it's just
the kerning is all.
It looked like Batmarl, like, see, it's
yeah, I'll say because it's italic and yeah.
No, I like Mike's idea in chat. It's Martha's gonna down the cowl. It'll be Bat Martha. And somebody will be like, Bruce, and she'll be like, why did you say that?
BG don't like nothing, especially me. And even BG says Batfleck was a decent Batman. See? You guys gotta get on board this, man. Batfleck was pretty cool.
Oh no, I told you I thought Affleck did a good job.
My father ever was.
He did okay.
That was one of the grittiest, most well-written lines in any of the Batman movies. Like, full stop. That was just.
He did okay as Bruce Wayne, but as Batman.
Let me ask you this. This way, Chris. Well, you know what? I've always got to clear things up because you don't see as many movies as I think you do. Have you seen all of the Christopher Nolan Batmans? Okay.
Yeah.
So you got Christian Stale as Bruce Wayne. No. That's as Batman. I'm talking as Bruce Wayne, where he was just talking
okay,
like a Wall Street hedge fund douchebag. You know.
Well, he's definitely got the oh god, what's his name? American Psycho. He still affects that same sort of voice.
He just pretty much does play his impression of Patrick Bateman when he's doing Bruce Wayne, doesn't he? Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this, and Jack too. Which one did you like more of Bruce Wayne? Combined all three films of Christian Stale or Batfleck Bruce Wayne? Not Batman, Bruce Wayne.
It's rough, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to qualify this because in Dark Knight, he did such a good job when he was Bruce Wayne that it didn't matter that he was not Bruce Wayne through more than half of the movie. Like the one scene that immediately jumps to mind is the bit when he's in the Lamborghini and he intercepts the cop car to save the one Wayne Tech guy that knows that he's Batman. He did such a good job without saying literally anything. He just ran into the cop car, and afterwards, he's doing all of the acting with his face and not with his words. And that was really, 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 really good. Ben Affleck did okay. I would not dislike a movie with Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne or Batman. But I do think Christian Bale did a better job.
Like maybe it's just Jack, you?
I think they were both good in different ways. I liked both of them. I thought they were both fine. I don't get that wrapped up in it. I mean, if they suck, they suck. If they're great, they're great.
Yeah,
I thought they both
your
did fine
favorite's
job.
Val Kilmer.
I like all those movies.
Yeah, it is. You
Ew,
just
no, it's
listen. You've
not.
been called
No,
out on live stream. It's fine.
I like Val Kilmer as Bruce Wayne.
I thought Val Kilmer did a good job as Bruce Wayne for what he had to work with, but it was a terrible script. He's a great actor that had an awful script to work with.
I mean, Ben Affleck is still not my favorite Bruce Wayne. I mean, my favorite Bruce Wayne is Batman '89. But yeah.
Michael Keaton.
That's my favorite on-screen Bruce Wayne so far, because he played a quirky and and Keaton manages to pull darkness out, which you wouldn't expect from a comedic actor. And considering that it's a Tim Burton kind of quirky film, it manages to have some dark elements to it, and it really works. But then I'm biased in two ways. One, I don't like Christian Stale to begin with. And then two, I love the grizzled old Bruce Wayne, Frank Miller Bruce Wayne, right? And that's who Ben Affleck is playing, so I really dig it in a big way. So, I mean, since my biases are in full action here.
I have one reason why I just cannot take Keaton seriously as Bruce Wayne. You want to get nuts?
Oh, you forgot the
Let's
line.
go nuts.
You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. Well, you're facing down Jack Nicholson. What are you gonna do? Not chew the scenery? You gotta.
That was a really silly part.
But it was a movie for its time though, and it was a Tim Burton film, so you can't take it too seriously. But I did like Michael Keaton in Batman because he's such an unexpected person to be playing the role. But I would say that Robert Lowry was a better Bruce Wayne than Michael Keaton.
At least can we all admit that Michael Caine was the best Alfred?
Yeah,
better than Alfred Headroom.
Yes, he was the best one, a close second, but I'm just going to say Jeremy Irons was a huge get for that role, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, Jeremy Irons.
He really who are you going to get to follow up Michael Keaton? Tough call, man. Michael Keaton, he brings his A game every time, and it's like Jeremy Irons. I was like, really? Like when I heard that was it, and when I saw him, he didn't have much to do with it, but he didn't have enough screen time. I want to see him return as Alfred. I mean, he's got that classic English stage actor 100% believability in whatever he does. So it's remember that when he takes over the plane and it's like, I'm sorry, do I know you? He says into the microphone.
I do have to say too, because this is definitely a point of contention then too. Shit, who's the actor? Sean Pertwee, in the Gotham TV show. He's hands down the best Alfred of all time. Oh my god, he's so good.
I think he's a really good actor, and he was perfect for that show. But I don't know how I think he's a better leading man than a supporting actor. Because every scene he was in Gotham, he stole the scene.
Well, yeah, because he's awesome.
Yeah, and he should definitely take over as a replacement if they ever need his someone to fill in for his dad's role in the
Gamer
Doctor
Valine
Who.
here saying Bale and Clooney owned a billionaire review for Burton. On general principle, I have to say fuck George Clooney. So
Well, let's say also because that movie was, we may be able to argue all day, every day about me not liking BVS like at all and finding absolutely nothing redeemable about it, and you not liking the Dark Knight trilogy, but we can all agree that Batman and Robin was hands down the worst Batman movie of all time.
Joel Schumacher owes me $5.50 for my admission price and 2 hours of my life back.
George
Exactly.
Clooney
That
owes me my
motherfucker
money
in a
back, and
shitty
I didn't
movie.
even pay to see it.
You're gonna bully George Clooney to give you money.
I mean,
I'm gonna take your
Clooney
lunch
owes
money,
me
George Clooney.
Schumacher owes me money, and I never even paid for that film at any point. Okay, I'm just saying. And you misquoted. See, I think you project your bitterness upon the world and others, because I do not dislike the Dark Knight trilogy. I think Batman Begins is good. I think Liam Neeson's a little overrated. The Dark Knight is a great film. Dark Knight Rises is completely overrated. It's not that it's bad. It's just really, really overrated. So I don't think any of them are bad. Dark Knight is awesome. Now, you're the one who says BVS has absolutely nothing redeemable in it at the same time as saying, I'm okay with Batfleck. I mean, how do you make those things commensurate?
Because that Batfleck is not what that movie's about. It's not about Batfleck. He's barely in the movie.
Tyler asks, are you flinging whiskey bottles into George Clooney's backyard too? If I knew where he lived, yes. I just don't know where he lives. But it's...
And they'd be full and they'd be on
some
fire.
sort of accelerant. It's just... Like, you know, I've said this many a time. I don't want harm to come to some of these actors, but would a mugging be so bad?
Well, yes, it would. I mean, you just need to, not to bring the stream down or anything. You can talk to Paul Dini about that.
Yeah, right.
But, you know,
well, I just, you know, Clooney lives in a very cushy world where everyone loves him and it's great, and you can pronounce how progressive he is and so on and so forth. Yeah, go to Compton and talk about how progressive everything is and see how well it works for you, George. Anyway, let's wrap up this article.
Jesus, are you gonna have Tanya Harding?
I said no harm. I did say kneecap.
Wow, what
Jesus Christ.
What a dated reference.
George Clooney will never figure skate again. Okay. To support their exclusive, they showed AT&T's Twitter chumming the waters? Like, I get that, throwing fish chunks in the water, but have you ever heard that phrase before? Chumming the waters?
Oh yeah, well it's to
fishing
attract.
term.
It's to attract sharks.
I get the
So they'll
meaning.
get a
I
bite
just
on
never
some-
heard it used as a saying.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Thank
yeah,
you once again,
yeah,
Evolve
yeah.
Potato.
You hear it a lot on Shark
Thank
Week.
you once again, Evolve Potato, for posting the links. It's appreciated. To support their exclusive, they showed AT&T's water chumming tweet tagged in a post inquiring about Affleck's future as Batman. They responded rhetorically, "Who knows what the future holds? The shadow knows." Yes.
Yes. And he knows what
Right.
lurks in the hearts of men. What
2 days
evil
later,
lurks in the hearts.
AT&T liked this
The
tweet
shadow.
posting about the release of the Snyder Cut.
The shadow.
Uh,
Holy shit, Jack! I didn't know you got that reference.
Affleck was hard at work on his solo Batman as writer-director star in the wake of the version of Justice League released in 2017 that was tinkered with that was tinkered with greatly by Joss Whedon and Jeff Johns. Development would go on for a year before Matt Reeves joined the project as the new director, and Affleck bowed out entirely. He would later say on multiple occasions that he had trouble cracking the script and that he was not Batman anymore. Matt Reeves' The Batman is still in production and shows no sign of stopping despite COVID-17, 19, 20, whatever. Shutting down in consistent days. If Joker, Arrowverse, and a Snyder Cut prove anything, the multiverse is very much at play, and one Batman can coexist with another.
What happened to COVID-18,
Everything
Polly?
just fell apart mid-sentence for me there, man. I don't know.
Real quick, thank you, Mr. Scott, for the donation. Heath Ledger was the best part of the Dark Knight, in my opinion. Oh, hi, Polly.
Heath Ledger was, absolutely. Yeah. He really.
Oh, yeah, he was fantastic.
I mean, people beat the point
Yeah.
to death, but it's still true. I mean, a whole series of really fired acting.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah. I say people like to point out the chewing clown. Yeah. But at the same time, it was really good, so shut up.
Yeah. Absolutely. When you compare it to Hot Topic Joker, I mean,
and I didn't even dislike that movie. And yeah, there is no comparison.
Yeah, Suicide Squad sucked, dude. Sorry.
No, it didn't. Jared Leto could have been a way better Joker than he was.
Yeah, it would have been better as a Joker movie, but you know.
Yeah, if it wasn't the fucking Hot Topic Juggalo Joker.
All right, I don't want to do this topic, but god damn it, we're gonna do it. Work with me, quiz. Jesus. Okay, here we go. Twitter art critics accuse artists of, quote, whitewashing Sailor Moon. Praise diverse variations in the hashtag Sailor Moon redraw challenge.
Oh, is this about those retards that are
Yes.
making her actually look Japanese?
Yes. Well, sort of. In part. I don't
like see that looks like a Satoshi Kon cartoon, but Sailor Moon was never meant to be hyper realistic like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, part of this story as you read through it is people like, yeah, take this image frame from one whatever episode of Sailor Moon and
one episode
reimagine it yourself.
Yeah, and redraw
Sailor
it.
Moon redraw challenge, right? And
yeah.
the fact
yeah, it's really cool
in general. So you got Venom Moon here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's so many good ones.
And then here's like attempted, hard to balance anime style with detail and realism, but it was fun. People did that, and the criticism starts coming out because people are doing this and they're like, you're making her a white girl. And it's like,
she's blonde.
She was always been blonde-haired, blue-eyed. Doesn't matter the fact that her name was Usagi.
I mean, Usagi. There it is, right? It's and this is the whole part of the article is that people on Twitter are going to do what they're going to do. And then, so here's a reimagining of the same thing. It's like, redraw her. So this is the way this person redraws her. Okay.
Yeah, and that looks really cool.
The whole point was different takes and different things. Here's King of the Hill, Sailor Moon.
By the power of the moon, I'm gonna kick your ass.
People are the whole point is fucking around, right? It's whatever your imagination comes up with, but that doesn't stop people from going, oh my god, she's like, wah. So
yeah, she needs to be Japanese. Her name is Usagi.
Decides to get involved, right, and does this. Silverjow also presented an alternate version of which has since been deleted from his Twitter feed that furthered the visual expression of Usagi's Japanese heritage by replacing her blonde hair with it being jet black, like so. This realistic.
Now she just looks like every girl in a subway in Japan.
Well, at least when the conventions are in town.
No, they all dress in sailor suits for school. They all have school uniforms and shit.
But they're not near the skirts are not nearly so short.
Maybe not in your world, but my documentary collection says otherwise.
my candid cell phone snaps say otherwise.
That's right. My shoe camera
Yeah,
says otherwise. Sorry, Polly.
the article says this realistic depiction of the pretty guardian soon garnered a mass of fans from a small group of critics who asserted that Silverjow's black-haired version, quote, actually looks Japanese, bizarrely claiming that, quote, so many people whitewash her in this challenge. Okay, she would have to not be blonde hair and blue-eyed with a light skin tone to begin with to whitewash her.
Look, if you made any of these characters look like real people, they would actually look like those bug-eyed aliens that probe people in the butt because they have gigantic eyes.
Dude, Jack, they make actual like full-on helmet masks that put Japanese anime proportioned faces on an actual mask, and they are straight up uncanny valley. It is frightening to look at a train full of these people with these masks on.
Like, as Vol Potato points out here,
I can find pictures for you. I mean,
it makes it anime. Yeah, absolutely. But it's supposed to get artistic in it and so forth. But this is where it comes from. So you got June, loaded diaper, pride flag, heart. So many people whitewash her in this challenge. Thank you. This is beautiful. Okay. Not to be racist, someone responds, but it's weird how anime characters don't often look Japanese. This portrayal makes me think of Riho Metal. Thanks for this. This is actually more racially accurate than the actual show. You're now telling Japanese artists, Brusky, and June, loaded diaper, and Yuto, 424, that the artists who drew and created the character got it wrong.
Yeah, you're not allowed to draw Usagi as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl.
Her fucking name is Rabbit.
Who created this character were not being racially accurate with your own creation. That's the length that the sewer that Twitter will go to. This level of retardation actually occurs.
Yeah, well, they also think that only Japanese people can draw Japanese. So that by that extension, Japanese people can't draw white people. So if you have to hire somebody that's Asian to draw Asians, the extension of that logic is they're not allowed to draw white people either. So everybody they draw must clearly be Asian. It's bigotry of low expectations and just general racism. It's fucking disgusting. People are idiots.
Let's find a couple more examples here. Mm-hmm. I love that you drew her as actually Japanese too. Many people make realistic renditions of anime characters look Western, even though the characters are Japanese. Okay, again, you're telling the original creators that they did wrong in the way that they drew their own fucking character. You didn't draw them right. Like, are you fucking stupid? Well, I mean, the answer is yes. You must possess some kind of stupidity or reasoning block. Grant here says, this is the best version, Silverjow, because Sailor Moon is an anime character and anime has Japanese origins, so she should look Japanese or Asian. Again, you're telling the people that created the show they did it fucking wrong because you're Japanese. Everyone you draw and every character you create should be Japanese or more generally Asian. What the fuck? Did you even read what you wrote?
No, I honestly think they are that dumb.
It's very condescending because they're essentially like literally saying not essentially, they're literally saying that you cannot have any creative process if a character has a Japanese name. They have to look Japanese.
Now, how many accolades came for Black Sailor Moon? A fuck ton. Yeah, a fuck
Black
ton.
Sailor Moon? Oh yeah.
Because Zavimina X Art, who looks black by her avatar, decided to draw Sailor Moon as black. Okay.
Oh wait. Okay. All right, that one. I was gonna say I saw a different one where she had darker skin like that, but she looked like a Ganguro girl. So
but this praise is heaped upon this. Why? Is this not blackwashing? Don't you have a problem with this? You didn't make her Japanese? No, you can cheer it on. You all are just a bunch of fucking racists. They're already POC,
against
they're
white people.
Japanese. They're already not white. They're Japanese. So therefore, what? I mean, these are the people that this is the kind of thing that needs to be challenged, like IRL, because Twitter's a fucking sewer and you won't get away with it. They'll just call you a Trump supporter or something. When somebody says something like that in real life,
Yeah,
you should
call
say
you a racist. Yeah.
they're already not white. They're Japanese, so therefore it makes sense to race swap them with anybody but white people. Is that correct? Yeah, you're just a fucking bigot, and call them what they are. Just say you're a fucking bigot. But I'm white. Yeah, you're a fucking self-hating bigot. Then, I mean, there's no other way around this. You don't need to create a rational deduction to point out that this is just fucking racism. It is.
Yeah, these are. I think Sargon said it best when he used the phrase "self-loathing white supremacists." And I have to agree with that because that's all that comes to mind when I see shit like this. Is they're like, "Oh, good job, you made him a new color. Good job, you." It's so condescending and self-righteous.
The white supremacist aspect of
sick.
it, I have heard people say, like, you're the real racist. I've heard Don Lemon react to it and say, oh, they're saying that we're the real race. Listen, you have to harbor this idea that white people are so powerful that they need to be dethroned at every step. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where the white supremacy comes into it. We can't have Japanese created characters as white people because that's just wrong. So therefore anyone else, any other race other than white people is automatically a good thing because, well, you can't really be racist against white people because we're so big and powerful that we can take it. There's a white man's guilt wrapped up in all of this. I'm a good white person, which means
it's
I need
white
to help
man's
everybody
burden.
who's not white.
Yeah, it's a mix between a white man's burden and manifest destiny. I got to lift up those poor non-white people because we're so amazing. It's just like that same argument where Sargon said self-loathing white supremacists. He was talking to Thomas guy at MythCon, and what was it he said? Shit, I just lost it. The guy said that meritocracy was an unfair advantage to white people. And I was like, that's exactly what this mentality is.
And I have heard that, and we all
They're
have seen
dumb.
that read somewhere, I would imagine, that meritocracy is inherently racist. And it's like, because when everyone's asked to compete on a level playing field, white people are going to be at the top. Jesus Christ, do you understand the consequences of what you're saying? That's ugly as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like Daily Stormer type shit.
It really is.
It's really fucked up too because it's coming from this misguided position of supposed
have a good night, Shady.
Later, Shady.
Altruism. They're trying to misguide their altruism, and they're not realizing that exactly what they're saying is exactly what they're trying to fight would say. It's
all right. Let's move on to something slightly more positive. New rumor details how Moon Knight Disney Plus series fits into the MCU. Trying to be positive, guys. Trying.
Nah.
A rumor gives us a first real glimpse of how the upcoming Moon Knight Disney Plus series will fit into the overall landscape of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The rumor comes from Mikey Sutton and his Geekosity Facebook group and indicates Moon Knight will be joining the Avengers. As the Avengers evolve with more cosmic members such as Captain Marvel and soon Nova, Kevin Feige is seeking to balance with some of the more grounded superheroes, especially with Captain America no longer present. Moon Knight delivers streetwise grit to Earth's mightiest heroes with a bit of Doctor Strange weirdness as well. That's not an unfair description. He even teases there will be different branches of the Avengers writing. There even has been talk of a West Coast Avengers too. You mean like 80s West Coast Avengers or current year?
Oh no, I sincerely hope the new one. Oh, please be the new one.
No. No.
Please. How far did that series go?
Like
by
5.
the way, I
It
don't
was
remember.
claimed to be an ongoing. It was one of the famous
It was
ones that,
like
or
5.
infamous ones. It was claimed to be an ongoing series, and then in the letter pages they said, "Well, our limited series has come to an end," and it's like, yeah, right, man. For those of you who don't know, the new West Coast Avengers is where they put all of their shitty eggs in one basket, especially with America Chavez. That's where she ended up.
Oh,
Well,
I,
it's got let's see here, America Chavez, Kate Bishop, Hawkeye,
Kid Omega.
the original Hawkeye, Kid Omega, Gwenpool.
Yeah. I hate to interrupt this god awful line of thinking, but Frosted Glass sent us a picture on the Twitter machine of a corrected picture of Sailor Moon to make it more authentically Japanese, and I think it's worth a look.
Guys, you can get that West Coast Avengers in a collected
sweet.
edition
Yeah, they probably give that shit away. Don't do it.
for $10.99. I've been told it's incredibly popular.
No, it's not. I'm hoping that Moon Knight
Yeah.
is really good.
So
really
am.
am.
He's a fantastic
But I
character.
don't-
I've
I
loved him
don't-
for a long time, and started a chronological reread of his stuff that I should probably get back into. But I don't know. I hope it doesn't go like, young adult, like Supergirl and shit.
Social justice for tweens. Yeah, great.
Especially after they wrote into the comics and canon that Frenchie is gay, which in David Finch's run of Moon Knight it's in there and it's canon, and I have no problem with it because it was fucking actually handled really well. The conversation where he quote comes out to Mark Spector is really cleverly done, and it's just sort of is, if you know what I mean, as opposed to like now he's like super flamboyant and loves show tunes and shit like that. It's the opposite of the way that Cena Grace wrote Iceman, or it's.
Please tell me he was wearing
No,
at
he
least
was
one
not.
sweater vest.
It's just he just kind of said like, Mark, I've been gay for years. You couldn't tell. Kind of like, and Spectre was mad as fuck at him, not for being gay, but life and death, mortal danger together. You saved my life how many times, and you didn't think you could just come right out and tell me? And he's like, I thought you knew. And that was kind of it. Oh well, moving on.
Sweater vest? He's gay.
What the fuck are you two talking about? Where does sweater vests even fit into it? Mr. Rogers wore sweater vests. What the?
No, Mr. Rogers was the last straight man that could wear a sweater vest and not be considered a pedophile.
Let's put it this way, Jack. Okay, yes, sweater vest. I said it. I ain't gonna be taking that away. And not only that, is if you wanted to differentiate between sweater vest and pedophile, you need to put in a bow tie too.
Okay, that's fair. A dude wearing a sweater vest and a bow tie, that just screams pedophile to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't trust dudes in sweater vests. It's just the thing I have. If you're wearing a sweater vest, I don't trust you. You're up to something. You're either going to try and sell me a car, or you're going to drive an ice cream truck to lure children. I don't know which, and I don't care. I don't like either one. So don't be that guy. Don't. And if you're wearing a bow tie with that sweater vest, no, you're probably a reptilian on top of that.
Yeah, you're going around parks looking for the perfect child, whatever that means.
Yeah, exactly. Driving your fucking ice cream truck like a fucking weirdo. I'm just saying, it's just totally the way my brain works.
All right, might as well talk about this one. You think CBR put the Marvel logo big enough?
But they were probably paid
right?
$50 to do that.
What company does she work for?
He.
I can't tell.
No, it's not what you.
Here we go. I don't know if you've seen this viral video quiz, but it's all based around. No. Okay.
It's the Karen fight that had to happen.
It was inevitable, but this guy is like deliberately hanging out in bushes with dog food in his pockets, like calling dog. This story, man. People have dismantled this video and analyzed it. Anyway, let's just read the article. CBR. Let's see how they take is. Former Marvel editor asks woman to leash dog, has police called on him. Former Marvel Comics editor Christian Cooper has had the police called on him when he asked a white woman to leash her dog in New York Park. Okay, if you're going to say it that way, have it make sense, CBR. Former Marvel Comics editor Christian Cooper, who is black, had police called on him when he asked a white woman to leash her dog. Like, that's the whole deal here. She calls the police and says, "I've got an African American man threatening me." That's the insinuation. She knew how the police act, supposedly. But here we go. A viral video recorded on Memorial Day features Marvel Comics editor Christian Cooper asking a white woman to leash her dog in the Ramble section of New York Central Park. The woman, Amy Cooper, responded by declaring that she was going to call the police and tell them that an African American man is threatening my life, which you can clearly hear her doing. Yeah, in the video. Christian Cooper's sister, Melody Cooper, shared the video on Twitter, which has been viewed 12 million times as of this writing. Melody Cooper captured the video with, "Oh, the Karens take a walk with their dogs off leash in the famous Bramble of New York Central Park, where there's clearly posted on signs that dogs must be leashed at all times. And someone, like my brother, an avid birder, politely asks her to put the dog on a leash."
The fuck is a birder?
Bird watcher.
Then why not just say bird watcher?
Because that makes it sound like they're British people watching chicks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Melody Cooper, in a 2019 HBO Access fellow and writer of Omni comic book series Humanoid. Hours after sharing the video, she provided an update to let everyone know that her brother Christian is fine and that they are grateful for the concern. Christian Cooper, a senior biomedical editor at Health Services Communication, also recounted the incident on his Facebook page, which his friend Roy Sau also shared on Twitter. He recounted how he offered Cooper's dog a treat, and when the dog approached him, she screamed at him not to touch her dog. Here's how Chris recounts the incident. "This morning, a woman's dog is tearing through plantings in the Ramble. Me, ma'am, the dogs in the Ramble have to be on a leash at all times. The sign is right there. Her, the dog runs are closed. He needs his exercise. Me, all you have to do is take him to the other side of the drive, outside the Ramble, and you can let him run off his leash all you want. Her, it's too dangerous. Me, look, if you're going to do what you want, I'm going to do what I want. But you're not going to like it. Her, what's that? Me, to the dog. Come here, puppy. Her, he won't come to you. Me, we'll see about that. I pull the dog treats I carry out for just such an intragence? Intrasegence? Okay. I don't know that word. Maybe that's a real word or it's a typo. I'm just not familiar with that word. So I pull the dog treats out for just such an occasion. I didn't even get the chance to toss any treats to the pooch before Karen scrambled to grab my dog. Her, don't touch my dog. That's when I started the video recording with my iPhone and when her inner Karen fully emerged and took a dark turn. Twitter users quickly tracked down Amy Cooper's place of employment, Franklin Templeton, to let the company know that one of its employees was threatening to call the police on a black man after he'd asked her to obey the leash signs in the park. The official Templeton Twitter account released a statement. "We take these matters very seriously and we do not want to condone racism of any kind. While we are in the process of investigating the situation, the employee involved has been put on administrative leave."
Oh man, you're gonna love this, Polly. Not only is that an actual word, but talk about an $11 word for every social justice advocate ever spawned. Intransience. Or sorry, intransigence.
Intransigence. I said it like 3 times. You guys don't listen to me.
I'm sorry. Intransigence. Refusal to change one's views to agree. Refusal to change one's views or to agree about something.
I've heard of somebody being intransient, but I've never heard of it intransigence in that way. That's
intransigent. Be like, I'm not a transient.
Well, yeah, intransient means I'm totally not moving somewhere.
I am not a hobo.
No, intransigence is someone who's saying, I refuse to change my point of view, good sir.
So we're going to go back to this, guys.
Yeah.
Now here is a Facebook posting, rather. "I pull the dog treats I carry for just such an occasion when somebody is refusing to change in their ways. You care, and this is, so I'm watching Tommy Sotomayor's video on this, and he's like, wait a minute. You were hiding, you were in the bushes by your own admission with dog treats in your pocket just in case you encounter a dog off the leash. He's like, were you like, his call on this was, I haven't watched the video and parsed out every little detail of it as lots of people have done. But apparently this is just this woman acting racist as fuck. She's like, there's an African-American man who's blah, blah, blah. And it certainly sounds like she's trying to, you should hear her freak out on the phone. She suddenly turns into screaming, crying woman on when she gets a hold of 911, right?
All good Karens have that skill. They have to be like Karen for that.
Did she yeah, 4th level. Did she start screaming about how he hit her with his car?
That was a video.
I find it extremely strange he had dog treats.
That's another
Tommy. It's like
yeah. That's a fucked up thing to do, especially if you don't have a dog.
I encounter something like this. All right.
I know paper guys that do that. They carry, and mailmen, they carry treats so that if there's a dog, they can make friendly with the dog. But when you're lurking in the bushes with a pocket full of dog treats, it sort of sounds like you kidnap dogs.
Yeah.
You're just a random dog napper that ransoms off rich people's dogs.
It's kind of odd, his statement of his words, that of course, like he said, he didn't turn his iPhone on or start recording because the video does start after that. It says, look, if you're going to do what you want, I'm going to do what I want, but you're not going to like it. What's that? Come here, puppy. And goes and gets his dog treats he just happens to have on him. Like, who are you, Shaggy with a pocket full of fucking Scooby snacks? I don't understand.
Like Stoic Scoob, the cops
I don't know what
called.
to make of this situation. I mean, people on Twitter are going to do what sewer dwellers do, which is, oh my God, and quickly call up like, and I mean, you want to talk about Karens. Everyone's like, oh, she's the Karen, she's the Karen. How about all the people who called her fucking Franklin Templeton employers and go like, I'm going to call your, like, who are you, Mika Brzezinski, calling up Twitter saying you better take down Donald Trump's tweet? I mean, there's Karens everywhere. This guy's walking around the fucking park with dog treats, just looking to create a situation where it's like, you better put that dog on a leash. And she's like, no, fuck you, I won't do it. And then Karens on Twitter get involved in the whole thing. I mean, we're living in a Karen-verse, guys.
This is obviously Karen Thunderdome. 2 Karens enter, 1 Karen leaves. That's the laws of Karen Dome.
The Karen verse. All I gotta say is that is the worst of all of the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Crisis on Infinite Karens. Yeah, the guy's a douchebag, but the way he phrased that was like, you're not gonna like what I have to do. That sounds kind of like a rapist.
I was gonna say, he's gonna rape the dog?
Probably, because he's got a pocket full of treats. And if he had a jar of lube, man, it just would not be a good look. But this dude used to be a Marvel editor. What does that tell you? He's a Karen. I could have told you that the second I found out he was a Marvel editor.
Functional, no you don't. No you don't, Functional.
Pretty sure they're the same place, Functional.
Yeah.
Wild. Well. Of all potato, thank you for the donation. Don't you carry dog treats to give good doggos? Weirdo. I guess I'm just completely out of step with the rest of society, not carrying doggy treats with me. I don't know. I will tell you, I do have a doggo story, and it relates to a leash. There was this tiny Asian woman. I went for a walk yesterday. What?
Uh-oh. I don't know like where this going.
Okay. I went for a walk like break of dawn times, like during the twilight, which is at the end of my day, which was obviously at the beginning of her day, because she's out walking the dog in the morning and I'm walking to end my eve, because I'm a night owl.
Were you walking or were you
no, I was walking. I drank afterwards.
Did you at least give Eve her final, her last words first
Jesus
before you ended
Christ, I
her?
was like, whatever, man. So I'm walking along, and this woman she's got this big old dog that's like as big as her. I don't know what breed it was, but it was huge. And she's got like a metal, like not some fancy laced leash, but a full-on chain, solid stainless steel leash. Anyway, she's walking with this dog. She's got it on a fairly short leash, and she does the whole like COVID-19 social distancing thing to walk like and I do kind of too, to sort of like walk around her 6 feet or plus. And that dog's like like happy, not angry. There were no growls or whatever, but she couldn't control that dog. The dog like pulled over to me and started sniffing me, and I'm like, oh, hey doggo, how's it going? And she looks at me, she goes, oh, good morning. And it hold on,
you do that again, please.
Good morning. I don't want to hear anything about how I say cosplay ever again.
Thank you very much, Funkswell, for the $3. Probably want a cracker? Come here, Birdie. Get in the van! Get in the van!
Get in the van!
Okay, so Functional's fantasizing about kidnapping me. That's concerning. It's concerning. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. No, but it's so the dog comes over, and I'm like petting him, and she's like, no, come on, and she's like trying to pull the dog to like keep walking, because now the dog has made her violate social distancing, right? I just found the whole situation funny. I remember thinking, and I ended up.
Oh yeah, we know why you found it funny.
The next block, as I was walking, because I started giggling to myself about the thing, because she could have, and it would have worked. She could have, like a jockey, hopped on the back of the dog and rode off into the sunrise.
Oh, come on, the
I mean, the dog was big enough. Like when she was standing beside it, I saw where her hip level was at, and it was the dog's back was higher than that. So like she literally could have gotten on the dog's back and not had her feet touch the ground.
Now, see, I think you're mistaken. You may have actually misunderstood what you saw. That dog's name was Ambrosius, and it was actually a fox terrier named Sir Didymus.
Okay. I don't get that at all.
I have no idea.
The movie Labyrinth with David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly?
I don't remember it that well.
Oh my god. I may have watched that a lot.
You should have made a Treyu flying furry dragon never-ending story reference.
It is a luck dragon, good sir.
What was his name? The luck dragon? Yeah.
What, the dragon? Fuck. I don't remember.
I don't remember off the top now that you asked me.
I thought you were just gonna pop right out with it, man. I wasn't even trying to triviate.
I drew a total blank as soon as you asked me. Falcor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Falcor! Yeah.
Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, let's leave the Karen verse where it is, shall we?
Yes.
I wish.
To let them eat each other and
man,
call each
Functional
other's
didn't like
managers.
that. Limafau. What? Labyrinth, you uncultured swine. So let's talk about this article, and good on you for archiving this art. Did you get it from archives, or did you archive it yourself? Good on you, man.
I archived it. That's the archived version I did. I know other people did it too.
I watched
I archived
a couple of other
it was
YouTubers talk about this, but this is the shit right here. Like, this is just you scum.
Yeah.
You scum.
It was put up and then taken down, and you'll never guess what day they put it up on.
Can we start just by me? I know I've pointed this out before, but I feel the need to do it again. These are fake moves. Don't feel bad, guys. Those are CGI moves. Okay? Just saying.
My moves look way better.
This was an article that CBR inexplicably put up on Memorial Day. And then well,
they hate America.
I am forced to conclude similarly. Yes. It's like, what the fuck else would you do this for? You guys really do have an axe to grind with Americana writ large, don't you?
I'm just wondering what other things that Caleb Clark has written.
Well, yeah. We should do a Caleb Clark free for all next week. Like, let's just go through all the fuckery that this guy's vomited and sprayed out of his butthole over the past couple years. Go through his Twitter and stuff like that. I mean, we don't have time to do it now because we're running a little long, but like, I mean, fuck this guy. Let's just read his fucking article. Steve Rogers wasn't a hero for becoming Captain America. He was selfish. All right. Now, let's keep the comic book Steve Rogers out of this, because he's just kind of talking about Steve Rogers from Captain America: The First Avenger. So we can keep it complete within the MCU, and he's still ass backwards 180 degrees off fucked on this point. You don't even need to bring in comic book lore to demonstrate just how fucked this guy is. So anyway, Captain America is one of the most important characters in Marvel history, and without him, many of the great stories of the Marvel Universe would not happen or wouldn't be the same. He is central to the entire framework of Marvel storytelling, and Captain America is emblematic of justice, honesty, perseverance, making him the ultimate accumulation of the American ideal. However, the decision for Steve Rogers to become Captain America is inherently selfish. Steve was rejected from the military due to his small stature and health issues, but then his life changes when he is invited to join the Super Soldier program, which is how he becomes Captain America. However, when removing the context of what he would become, the decision is selfish. Rather than contribute in the ways that best suited him, Steve chooses to undergo the experimental treatments to artificially enhance himself. Steve's choice to become Captain America is rooted in a fetishization of hyper-masculine rather than an innate desire to do good for his country. Fuck you. Like, I mean, that is so wrong within the script of the story, but we'll just keep reading.
Well, I was gonna say it's patently
it's
false.
just dead wrong. Did you even watch the movie? That's just wrong.
Yeah. He wanted to join the army to serve his country. In fact, I think he fucking says that.
It's like he says to Bucky, he's like, you know, there's lots of ways. Not everybody can serve or whatever. And he goes, Buck, there's guys over there dying. Like, he's aware of the need to serve, trying again and again and again to the point of risking prison, trying to join the army, right? Did he, oh my God, you can make me big and strong when Stanley Tucci, I forget the character's name, the doctor, offers him, so do you want to kill some Nazis? He goes, I don't want to kill anyone. It's just he wants to do what's right. But let's just read on here. This is a bold claim against Captain America's golden boy, yet the context matters. No, it's a weak-ass attempt on Memorial Day to be a clickbait fucktard, and you grinding your fucking problem with America, whatever it is. Steve is initially someone unfit to serve on the front lines. It is tough and hurtful, but it is the reality of his situation. If his concern was truly how he could best serve his country, he would accept his situation in life and make the best of it. He could have tried becoming a merchant marine, train as an officer, or stay at home and help with the production of wartime materials. All of these could contribute to the war like Steve supposedly wants to do, but that isn't good enough. Steve, in his eyes, has to be on the front lines. It's understandable for a young man to want to prove himself to his peers and country, yet, even deep down, his intentions are, if his intentions are altruistic, really quick. Manic, thank you very much for the $10 donation. Very generous. And she simply says, Bali, Manic, you generous soul, you. Thank you for popping by. Oh, I know.
We love Manic.
Even if deep down his intentions are altruistic, the steps he takes to pursue those instincts are selfish. In Steve's mind, there's only one way to contribute to the war, and that just happens to be the way he wants to contribute. Captain America is known for his altruism and his willingness to sacrifice everything for what he believes is right. Yet there is something selfish within that, because Cap's altruism is in what he believes and nothing else. Cap will fight against anyone who opposes his worldview, including his friends. Just look at the catastrophic violence that breaks out in the Civil War comic arc, as well as the accompanying film. These events happen because Cap is uncompromising, and nothing will shake his worldview. The requirement that we stand up for what we believe, no matter the odds or the consequences, Cap says in The Amazing Spider-Man Civil War by J. Michael Straczynski, a completely underrated writer, and Quiz, shut up, one more day was fine.
No, it was not.
Quote, when the mob and the press and the whole world tell you to move, your job is to plant yourself like a tree beside the river of truth and tell the whole world, no, you move.
No, you move. Yeah, that's a good line. That's a good line.
Got having
well
principles.
Said. Well fucking said. This quote would also be adopted in the film, with Sharon Carter saying it and inspiring Cap to stand his ground in regards to this Sokaiva Accords. I've never known how to say it. Okay. This quote is also highlights Cap's tendency to respond to things with violence. In fact, Cap is an impulsive person, and his first response to opposition is to beat it down. These aggressive impulses are hidden beneath a veneer of tough American grit and freedom fighting. So to round it off, he says, this may seem like a condemnation, but it's not. Right. After all, not everything Cap does is selfish, and not everything? That's very magnanimous of you to admit. That's great. And not everything selfish he does is bad. If Cap hadn't entered the Super Soldier program, there would have been no defeat of the Red Skull during World War II. His unwavering commitment to freedom and privacy is also what uncovers Hydra's plot to take over S.H.I.E.L.D. and Captain America the Winter Soldier in Avengers Endgame. It is also his instinct for aggression and desire for revenge that leads the remaining Avengers to hunt down Thanos and ultimately kill him. No one would argue these outcomes are bad. However, the underlying motive behind them isn't as black and white as it may seem. He still keeps going. Psychoanalyzing a comic book character may be trite. No, it's not. It's just pasting your worldview onto a comic. It's not that it's trite. It's just transparent. This is...
It's just your values.
You are not talking about Steve Rogers. You're talking about yourself. But there may be good reasons to do so. For one, it makes Captain America more human. He is a fictional character, but he's also an important icon for many people, and he's a golden standard many fans want to live up to. Humanizing him may take the veneer away, but it makes the character, his actions, and consequences more real. It also helps readers and moviegoers better understand Steve Rogers in and out of the Captain America uniform as a character. It is easy to write him off as an archetype of American machismo. Who the fuck ever did that other than lame-ass hacks like you?
You.
But when fans try to understand why he makes the choices he does, it becomes much more complex. Being a hero isn't a black and white issue, and seeing Cap overcome selfish impulses for the greater good is far more rewarding than watching him be a do-gooder all the time. He didn't know the Super Soldier program existed at all.
Yeah.
He was offered the chance to go into the testing program and was running through it as weakling Steve Rogers and was displaying again and again, if you watch the movie, and that's why it's a great script, that he's the guy that they need to pick. Not the big oafish machismo guy. Remember him? The guy that dove for cover when the general threw the grenade in the center of the room. Who's the one who went and threw himself on top of it? The little weakling. The big, tough, square-jawed machismo moron was not the guy to pick because he didn't have the right heart. As the doctor says, the serum will make you more of what you already are. That's why they didn't want to bully.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is he must have glossed over the fact that the entire beginning of that movie is to show that Steve is a man of integrity. That was his whole point.
I think that's exactly why this guy doesn't like him, because he's a man of integrity and a personality and one who's dedicated to causes and actually stands up for what he believes. He doesn't sit and hide behind a keyboard bitching about it. He goes out and does stuff.
He is a man of action, there's no question, but he can't sit idle while something bad is happening. That happens in Winter Soldier, that happens in the first Avenger. He sees something going on and he's got to go do something about it. He can't sit by, like you said, Jack, hide behind a keyboard. He's got to go do something. When Bucky is threatened, he's got to go make that move because he knows he owes that debt of honor. He can't leave a soldier behind, right? It's not that he's got violent impulses. It's that he can't sit by. That's why he's spurned to action.
Yeah. There's violence because it's a fucking action book and action movies. You have to have action to be an action movie. Otherwise, it'd be some boring ass George Clooney movie where they sit around and talk over coffee for fucking 2 hours, and nobody wants to watch that. Am I right? Last American,
The
or whatever that
American.
movie
Yeah,
was
The
called.
American. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
American, yeah,
That was a
the
fair
boring
description
American.
of it, too.
Yeah, fucking boring trash fire. And on the Streamlabs, thank you, Manic, who says, Jack! Manic!
And at the same time, Manic also donated to me as well and says, "Quiz,
Gamer
Manic!"
Valine is rightfully, pissed, and I understand it. It's like the SJW's attack when those honored can't speak for themselves because they fucking died. Dickless wonders all of them. Yeah, I've got these opinions. Let me psychoanalyzing a character. I don't believe that you're psychoanalyzing the character to do it. What you're doing is attacking, like a patriot who's got the pure heart. That's the point in Captain America. It's not his strength. It's his patriotism and his indomitable will. I can do this all day is his most famous line. What? Take a beating from a guy twice your size? Yes, that's the point of Steve Rogers.
Yeah, because he stands up for what he believes. And this little piece of shit is sitting there at his keyboard, ripping on the people that gave him the ability to do that. Because this piece of shit isn't going to get up and fight for what he believes in. He'll just sit and whine about it on the internet all fucking day. I don't feel sorry for this guy for his article getting taken down because it's a stupid fucking article that totally purposely misinterprets the character of a good person, who fictional or real, it doesn't matter. He's trying to besmirch the integrity of a person who's actually a good person. And yeah, it's a fictional character, but if he'll do it to that, he'll do it to someone else. And it's fucking disgusting because you're taking somebody that's supposed to represent the best of us and you're shitting all over it because you don't like it, because you hate America or you hate integrity or whatever. Fuck
Notice
this
how
guy.
much
He's a
time
piece of
he
shit.
didn't spend talking
Dude on
about,
Memorial Day.
as soon as Steve didn't know he was going to be turned into super muscled man. It was just part of a program, and do you want to try it? Yes. And he gave him the 1A rating instead of the 4F he was constantly getting everywhere else. And he's like, finally, I have the chance to go and fight. He didn't want to do something lesser than put his life on the line. It's like, oh, well, that just shows that he's obsessed with machismo. No, it shows you as a writer that's the only thing that you can see. You're going to interpret it that way. He spends such a small amount of time talking about weakling Steve Rogers being physically weakling, being the same guy mentally. You know what I mean? Before he had muscle as after he had muscle. It just made him more of that. And that's the whole fucking point of the character. Did you completely miss that? Oh, yeah, you obviously did. Oh, well, American machismo. Fuck, that line pissed me off.
Yep.
Well, I saw Captain Cummings post that CBR did the right thing by taking the article down, and I agree with that. They did. But I don't think they did it for an altruistic reason because they realized they had a bad take. They did it because they got too much hate.
Yeah,
and
they were getting blowback.
them.
Yeah. I say also, just as a side point here, I found a whole bunch of stuff from Caleb Clark on both CBR and from thegamer.com. All of them, though, you're going to be disappointed. They're fucking Watch Mojo. The 10 best Android phones updated 2020.
They're all Watch Mojo.
So, yeah. The one instance that you decide to show some fucking spine, Caleb Clark, is the one time that you reveal that you are a worthless piece of shit. Good job with that. Go back to your Watch Mojo top 10 bullshit. We'll be sitting over here mocking the shit out of you. And rightfully so. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm with Gamer Valine. He's attacking a fictional character to shield himself from angry vets. Yeah, because he really wants to attack real American military vets.
Yeah.
That's the impression I got from this, is that this guy has such a resentment for people that put on the uniform or have integrity or just are honest, good people, that he somehow sees that as like being selfish as opposed to altruistic. because this person has a skewed view of the world, and his life makes
When
me
you're,
sad.
it's, I can't help but read into the front lines. There's only one way to contribute. Oh yeah, the way what he views is right. It's like no, it's called having principles, and they're really basic, solid virtues that he has. I think that's what you hate about it. They're not these whatever the fuck it is you run your life off of. His worldview. He said he could have stayed behind and helped with this or that. He could have done this thing. He could have done that thing. Again, I think that you're putting your worldview in on this, Caleb. Well, I'm a little weakling that's too cowardly to go do anything, and men and women in uniform who actually go serve patriotically, and receive honorable discharges. Well, they're no better than me. I type on a keyboard. I could help. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
He's a
yeah, a
modern,
modern
warrior.
warrior, right? And
Look, I don't have any anger toward this guy because I feel pity for him because he's clearly pretty dumb. And he's got a very bizarre perception of the world, and I hope he gets the therapy that he desperately needs.
Well,
'Cause-
you know what's really disgusting about this though too, is that he's just missed his time period. If he put out this exact same article back in during the Vietnam War, he'd have been praised. He'd have been
Probably.
lauded.
Oh, Jane Fonda would have probably blown him.
Yeah,
hey, he's
I
not
think
on
that
Jane
shows.
Fonda's level. Jane Fonda is willing to do propaganda for the communist Chinese who invaded North Vietnam. I mean, this guy's just like, throwing some shade. She's out there visiting the enemy and doing propaganda for them. That's next level. When Caleb there is willing to, I don't know, do Chinese propaganda, then we can put him on the same level as Hanoi Jane. I would.
No, this dude needs to be institutionalized. He's clearly got mental issues. And then the weird old lady with the bird hair, like has like nests in her hair and shit, and she blows him. He'll think it's
Frosted
Jane
Glass said he
Fonda.
missed his period. Yeah, right. Yeah, we have our own little fun with that bastard. All right, let's check out this one last article here before we bitches. It should be a cool. There's this other article about John Boyega saying that white on black racism ruined the world. John Boyega, shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah,
He's talking about one isolated incident, and it's Twitter show. It's Twitter sewer fuckery. And he ends up saying the Twitter academics sure take things out of context and stuff. And it's like, you know what? You're looking for internet pee-pee touches and likes and retweets for you saying, so, oh yeah, I totally agree with you. You're attempting to just get cheap likes by writing what you're writing. And certain people say, Boyega, that sounds kind of racist what you just said. No, I'm talking about the racism, white on black racism that ruined the world. Oh, saying that really helped with your point, John. Well done. Fucking moron. Stay the fuck off Twitter, all of you. For Christ's sake, promote your movies. Promote what you're working on. New production, new scripts. You're an actor. This is your life. Do these things. Or, oh, here's some pictures of my kids or where I'm vacationing or whatever the fuck. Save your fucking promotion of your worldviews and how everyone else is supposed to live and what you think of Trump and fucking cram it up your rich ass. Get fucked.
Yeah, celebrities. Look, let me give a little PSA to celebrities. You're dumb. No one cares about your opinion. Now get out there and dance.
Yeah, so it's I agree. Save it for your little fucking cocktail parties and your little, giving yourself some big old circle jerk. No one gives a shit about what you think, dude. No one cares. Go fuck
Simon
yourself.
Pegg believes that the future of Star Trek should be a little bit more restrained. Curious what he means by it. I'm gonna skip ahead. During this interview, he does,
like
at the 2030 mark of the interview, Pegg is asked about the status of the next Star Trek film. The British actor didn't hold too much back about what he thought. Pegg responded to the question by saying, quote, Star Trek, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It may or may not happen. It's like I get updates. It's just I haven't heard about it in a long time. The last time I spoke about it, there were no immediate plans. Pegg would then reiterate comments that he made earlier in the about how the loss of Anton Yelkin, that's who played Chekhov, would affect the cast and crew if they made a new Star Trek film. Pegg explained one thing I did mention when I spoke about recently was losing Anton Yelkin. the way we did was a real blow. Yeah, young man.
What did
Yeah,
did he die?
He died. You didn't know that? Yeah.
No.
And I think it slightly took the wind out of our sails in terms of enthusiasm to do another one, just because we know we're missing one family. He would be conspicuous by his absence. The crew is still talking, according to Peg, having grown close since putting together the first putting on the Starfleet uniforms in 09. Peg said, "We're still in contact. We're emailing each other. And the other day, just seeing, checking in, how are you, and all that stuff. But it's not like any of us have been banging at the door of Paramount saying, hey, when are we going to do this? If they do another movie, I'm sure we'll all jump at the chance. I miss those guys. I love making the film. Simon Pegg's like involved in the writing and everything, not just in the films. As Scotty, he's also writer for it. Peg then references the Noah Hawley project. Noah Hawley's project has been mentioned, and maybe that will happen. I don't know anything else about it. I'm in the dark as much as anyone else. I'm in the same boat as you guys. Peg is then asked if there have been discussions to make a Trek film at the hardcore Trek fans and reducing the reliance on a big action set pieces, allowing the film to explore more of the franchise. Oh, here's the good. He answered, "Yeah, I think that would be a good idea." Peg is a huge Trek nerd at heart, so
yeah. Well, he's
Yeah,
a
in
huge
general.
sci-fi nerd.
Of course, Star
Period.
Trek has its appeal, and that appeal converted into numbers, which an accountant can figure out. Peg continued by comparing Star Trek to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The fact is, the appeal of Star Trek is slightly more niche than the appeal of, say, the Marvel movies. That's true, which make huge amounts of money and have this really, really broad appeal, and they do very well. He added, I think Star Trek is just a little bit more niche. Not going to hit those kind of numbers. And yes, the obvious thing to do would not be to go on to a massive spectacle. Go for something a little bit more restrained in the vein of the original series. That's
Yeah. See, what Paramount and CBS forget is that Star Trek fans are intensely loyal, and they will buy every fucking edition of a movie that comes out for eternity.
They have
And
yeah.
it's the long game with them. They'll buy all the goofy toys and costumes and shit like that, and they'll go to conventions for their entire lives. Where the Marvel movies, they make all their money up front, and then it makes a little money on the back end. You know, but Star Trek has a loyal fan base going back to like the 60s and 70s. So if you do it right, you can milk those fuckers for the rest of their lives.
Don't call me
and
a
then their
fucker.
kids too.
I am one of those fans that will buy it, but then again, I also am not willing to pay the money for Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard because they're not worth the money. They're not canon. They're corporate fanfic. They're that fucking bad. And I think Simon Pegg is right here when he says maybe TV is the better place for Star Trek right now. Television has evolved much. It's becoming something very much a contemporary, a peer of cinema. That's true. I mean, look at the way that people look at not Lord of the Rings. The other fantasy setting obsessive one. No!
Twilight.
Lord of the Rings fantasy style. It was on HBO. What the fuck?
Oh,
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
I was just gonna keep throwing out franchises, but it lost its glimmer when you're both like, look at the
one
thing.
Quality and the fanfare around it and everything like that. Yeah, you can do TV cinematically massive and still make it a big deal. Except Paramount is thinking like, oh, we're gonna take this Star Trek thing and all the drooling nerds will show up for it, but we're gonna make it a broad appeal. And plus, we have to make sure in the very first scene of Discovery we pass the Bechdel test, which was actually a standard that they set. My God.
Now, what do you think about the lady that's running Viacom, CBS, or whatever it is, trying to remerge the rights?
The remerging of the rights on its own sounds like a really fucking positive thing. It does, because having to split it up like that creates the legal issues of you can only, whatever, it has to be this given percentage difference, but you can't really quantify those things, but
it's what got us in this
but
problem.
I don't believe that means when you have Orsi writing or you have some other jackass team writing, it's going to turn into crap anyway, even if you have all the rights at your disposal. yes, I find it really positive to answer your question. I mean,
Yep.
that's a great thing. Yeah, all the rights should come back under one roof. And then there won't be the desire to destroy the original timeline so you don't have to reference it. You're not straitjacketed by canon, as some of those idiots have said. Hey, you can still write well outside of that canon. What you can't do is create something that... I was talking about this just last night with Hammer, like the One-Ton Hammer over in Discord. It's, you could take Star Trek Discovery, replace the names, don't call it Starfleet, call it Space Squad, and it would just be sci-fi. It would be unrecognizable as Star Trek. The only thing that makes it recognizable is the names. Why did you even fucking bother? For name recognition. And that's how far it is outside of the pantheon of Trek. It's that bad.
Well, since we're talking about Star Trek, I feel obligated to say that I watched some episodes of Star Trek Voyager the other night. And holy God, that show sucks. It was the...
How is
I
this
watched the
different
final
from your
episode
previous
where,
opinions? You sounded like you were going to say something new.
I know, it's
Well,
called the
fuck
bait
you,
and switch.
because I got hooked. And I was like,
bait in.
which one did you like? Oh, none. I
Yeah,
hated them all.
but-
Oh, fuck you, Jack.
No, I like the doctor on the show. I think
Oh, yeah,
he's
the
funny.
doctor's
Robert Picardi is a
fantastic,
great
absolutely.
actor. Unfortunately, he got surrounded with a bunch of characters that blow. So I would have watched the show just about the holographic doctor, quite honestly. Because I watched the episode Prometheus where him and Andy Dick had to save a ship from the
Message in a Bottle. Great
Romulans.
episode.
Yeah, that was a fun episode, and I actually liked that one. So there was one episode I didn't entirely despise, but then I watched the final episode, and I had to say, because Captain Janeway's old at the beginning of the episode, and
She's
like
even older. Yeah, that's right.
Meh, Chakotay,
she
meh.
looks so much like Catherine Hepburn, and at the there's a scene where she's at Chakotay's grave. Spoiler alert! And she's like, "Man, Chakotay, man!" Oh, it made my day. I laughed so hard.
I knew it was coming somewhere. It was like, meh, Chakotay, meh.
I'm surprised. I thought you were actually going
I
to
really
say,
like doing
well,
that.
I watched the final episode of Voyager and realized Marvel ripped the entire plot off, including the name of the episode, Endgame, for their movie Endgame.
Yeah, but
I'm
Marvel
just,
did
I'm
it
just
better.
saying, for those of you who didn't know, the entire plot for Avengers Endgame is ripped right off of the final episode of Star Trek, including the title.
Not once did Captain America walk over and be like, "Man, Bucky, man!"
He fought
I
over
would-
Bucky
I would-
enough, he might as
I
well
would
have.
pay. I would pay to get Chris Evans a brand new hairline to hear him go, meh, Chakotay, meh.
You don't need to. Chris Evans
Like, they
already
coulda
shelled
had
out tens of thousands of dollars for his new hairline.
Well, it's little fake
It
news,
is
though.
fake news.
They could have even had instead of Bucky, and I would have paid money to see that because they'll be like, "Bucky, man!" No, that show sucked. That's a waste of good actors. The guy that played Chakotay is a good actor, Robert Beltran. Jerry Ryan's decent looking chick. She should have been on Baywatch.
I love listening to
Robert
you talk
Picardi.
sometimes. She's a
actor.
decent looking chick.
She's a beautiful lady. I've done naughty things too for a white chick. But look,
She may have been added to my spank bank, but you know.
she's a little stocky, but you know, she's an acceptable. She's athletic and she was fun in all the right places. But
and
look,
visited public sex
that
clubs.
show sucked because yeah, well, dragged her
Well, drag or
bad,
she
I wasn't-
claimed that in the divorce proceedings. How many times can you be dragged multiple times to public sex clubs? I'm just saying.
potato. Look, all I know is that if that show didn't have On Golden Voyager starring in it, Captain
You know what?
Janeway Hepburn, it
If
would have
you
been a much
hadn't
better.
if you hadn't gone into this again, okay, I would not point this out. I was going to let this go. Jackass 3 times in one stream. Alls is not a word. No, it's not.
That is.
If you're referring to multiple pointed wood tools, the alls on the desk, then yes, it is, but not in the way you're using it.
AWLS. See,
Why are you upset about the alls?
Polly, it would definitely help your case a lot more if both you and I knew what intransigence was, and Jack actually knew what it meant and knew how to pronounce it. So
Couldn't even say pronounce. I did spend a few years as an English major, and I did occasionally go to class. All I'm saying is that
So
all
all's
I
the
am
English major
saying
is saying is
is
what?
no, all I am saying is it comes off as alls because I'm
Oh, that's
Midwestern.
it.
What do you fucking
Blame
want?
it on the
Yeah.
You're
Midwest.
lucky I don't
Drag
speak
them
all
all
right
into
there.
your pit of borderline literacy. That's you leave the poor people of Ohio out of this.
you know what? I'm not sure if I like what you're saying about all alls,
Right?
right?
That's just that's some hatred for the alls.
Alls.
Look, I'm just saying that you're trying to deflect with my idiosyncratic way of talking away from the fact that there's a sea monkey on that ship. And it was allowed to be on there by Katharine Hepburn stand-in her
Space leopard.
dementia or whatever. So
He's
he's not a space
he's got
leopard.
spots.
Leopards are cool.
He's got fangs.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything. You know who else has spots?
Not sea monkeys. Stunned into silence. What just happened? Hello. Did the stream just collapse? What the fuck is going on?
It's
And
so
we're
fun to
back.
do that.
Okay.
Just cause the whole
Fuck.
thing to just
Yes, we're back.
Are we back?
explode.
Oh, thank
Holy
God.
So it turns
shit.
out that
Holy
with
shit.
fucking Google Hangouts.
The
Yeah.
butt bot.
I
Yeah.
too many sexy women in the bottom right-hand corner. That's their problem.
That and they like Neelix too much.
Well,
Yeah.
nobody loves
They got
Neelix.
all-
They just
they got
don't
all
hate him with
offended.
the passion of 1,000 burning suns that you have.
I don't like sea monkeys.
I'm gonna have to go back into
Sorry.
the stream and edit
It's
out
just-
those 5 minutes of awkward silence because I don't want to confuse future viewers.
Fuck it, leave them in. They'll just assume I was ranting about Katharine Hepburn and running on Golden Voyager. And they'd be right because I went on for an unhealthy amount of time before we realized we were dead.
Yeah. Man, Chicote, man.
Oh shit. Okay, in any case, it is time. Yes, it's time that we do the pitches and round this motherfucker off because the episode is done for the week. So, who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Right. It's time for pitches, and Jack is going to go first. So let me just enlargenate the screen.
But you're enlargenate, not embiggen, huh?
Enlargenate's not a word either. I don't want to hear about my alls anymore.
I'm being cheeky. You actually think it's a word. That's the difference.
No, I know it's an idiom that I can't get away from because I've accepted who I am in life.
No.
Okay, ready?
All right, there you go. And Jack, what do you have to pitch for us?
All right, I am pitching a story by Dave Marriott and John Barber, art by Alex Milne. Oh, wait, here's this picture Frosted sent us where he corrected it.
What? Oh.
I am pitching Transformers versus the Terminator. That's right. The team up we didn't know we needed in life. It's here.
Okay.
So, take what you know about the Terminator story and just be like, fuck it. We need giant robots in this. So there's a Terminator. He's going back in time, but it's not necessarily for
It
Sarah
says right
Connor.
there, kill Sarah Connor.
Oh, that's one of his options. See, yes, no, what's it to you? Go away, kill Sarah Connor, ask me later.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So those are his possible responses. I thought it was hilarious. So there is indeed a Skynet in the future. And it is not fighting necessarily the humans. It's fighting the Decepticons. So
As you do.
yeah, like you would. So the Terminator goes back in time, and a lot of the similar things happen. He does meet Sarah Connor, but he's not there for her. He's there to stop a volcano from erupting. Unfortunately, things don't quite work out the way he wants, and we are left with a cliffhanger ending. It was, I don't want to ruin too much because it was actually a pretty fun book. It's not overly serious. It's not super dramatic or anything. It's just a fun crossover book by two franchises that have been handled poorly in the past, but have a lot of potential. And I thought this was actually just a good comic book action adventure. It's got a robot in disguise fighting a robot in disguise. So I had a lot of fun reading it. I think it's got a lot of potential. I'm looking forward to issue 2, and I highly recommend checking it out. I thought the art was pretty solid. The Transformers look really good in this. I didn't show too much of them because it would give away too much. But there's a lot of potential here for a really fun miniseries, the same way G.I. Joe $6 Million
How many
Man
issues is
had.
this going to run? Do you know?
And
Okay.
I think it's 5. It's 4 or 5. So I only know of the first issue being out, but I would definitely give it a thumbs up for recommendations. I had a blast reading it. I'm looking forward to the next issue.
I didn't even know it was on its way.
That's my pitch.
That's what I get for not reading previews. Fuck.
Right? Like I forgot that it was coming out. So it's just fun stuff, man. I had a blast reading it. It's not very often you see some licensed property that's actually a fun time anymore. So there's that.
So what do you think, Quiz? Would you like to go or shalt I?
Yeah, I can go. And to keep in the theme with license here, my comic is written by Jim Zub, art by Omar Dogan, letters Marshall Dillon, and other art for the bonus stories by Ken Sui Chong, and art by Edwin Huang. My pitch is Street Fighter Legends Cammy. Like last week, I pitched the Street Fighter Legends Sakura. This is the Street Fighter Legends Cammy. And these are all of like the variant ones. That one may look familiar. I'm just saying.
Done by Cho too, apparently.
Just a little.
Classic.
Yeah, I would say we don't have the Spider Gwen going outrage in the background, but you know, it's neither here nor there. Essentially, this follows the story of Cammy post Shadowloo, being part of Delta Force in England, resolving terrorist situations, and then it slowly starts to become apparent that the people that are behind all of these terroristic threats are Shadowloo rearing its ugly head back up again, and she has to confront her brainwashed past, where she was an agent of Shadowloo. And yeah, it's really good. Cammy is a very, very, very interesting character, like this militaristic assassin turned good guy agent, and the whole troubled past thing. Very, very quintessential comic book. And yeah, it's fantastic. The art is fantastic. The story is great. A lot of really cool fight scenes between the Street Fighter characters, and yeah, Street Fighter Legends Cammy.
Just the screen back over here so you guys can actually. Yeah, Functional says Cammy ass.
Cammy's my favorite, man.
Rather unsubtle, and I can appreciate that.
Oh shit! I completely forgot, Polly. I'm sorry. Gonna get dinged by the ass bot.
Certainly looked like they were touching. Green over there. My pitch. Frank Miller's Holy Terror. I can
tell you, yes, it was.
I'm pitching it again then. Because before I went live, I was saying, I don't know, I can't remember if I pitched this, but I want to pitch something shit posty because fuck you, YouTube, for taking down my shit. I mean, it was wrong. They're erotic, but not overly sexualized. This idea of overt sexuality. Fuck you. So I'm going to pitch one of the most hated comics in comic book history for a second time because fuck you. That's why. What we have here is the Fixer on the cover punching out a jihadi and knocking his teeth across the room because fuck yeah, Frank Miller. Am I right? For those of you who don't know or have never heard of this, Frank Miller originally envisioned this as Holy Terror Batman. It was going to be Batman fighting Al-Qaeda following September 11th because he's Frank Miller and he comes up with ideas like that. And the story varies. There's a whole bunch of lore behind it of what happened. Is it that DC said, fuck you, get out of here with this crap, Frank? And that he just turned the Batman character into the Fixer? Frank Miller in some interviews said, I don't really think I was telling a Batman story after a while, so I decided to sort of put it away for a minute and then pick it back up. And this is what he ended up coming out with, was just Holy Terror. And it is classic Frank Miller art style. As you can see, the framing of it itself is quite odd. The book is strangely shaped. I have a copy of it and it's double long instead of tall. It's portrait framed instead of landscape framed instead of portrait framed. As you can see, it follows as we eventually get to the art. Come on, Frank, show us the art. Show us the art. What does it start with? A quote from Muhammad: "If you meet the infidel, kill the infidel." Oh man, this graphic novel has been maligned as racist and Islamophobic and every other goddamn thing. Actually, all it does is confront jihadism in a really big way, where no, we're not going to let you attack our country and just be okay with it. The superhero here, the Fixer, uh, is there at the beginning of the book when a bomb goes off. This is when he meets this other female vigilante that's in and around town. It's art style that you see from Frank Miller from 300 and from Sin City. He decided to do it in that black and white, extreme high contrast, stylized style, like a lot of people critique him for. He made Sin City and never stopped making it. The story is gritty and strange as fuck. After the bomb does go off, they find themselves hunting down jihadis one at a time and not being nice, just torturing them to find out where are your encampments, where are your superiors operating from, where are you getting your weapons from, and murdering them one at a time, because that's the proper way to. There's the terrorists going off with the nail bombs that they all set off. I think it's a fantastic anti-jihadi story, because are you supposed to be protective of the jihadis? Now, one thing that I've always found interesting about this, the reaction, the overreaction to this comic, is how dare Frank Miller tell a story where you go after jihadis? Oh, yay, let's champion Captain America for punching Nazis. So you're defensive of the jihadis, but yeah, let's go after the Nazis. Help me understand that. It makes very little sense to me, but this earned him, Frank Miller, unbelievable amounts of hate and scorn. I say, fuck it, go read it. Fuck him. Yeah, so he's killing jihadis and torturing them one at a time for information. Big fucking deal. They're terrible people, and they're murdering innocents left, right, and center. And that's why they're doing what they need to do to get done what they need done. I say read it and enjoy it, and don't listen to the haters. Frank Miller, Holy Terror. Check it out.
I can tell you why it's in landscape mode.
Not to be confused with Batman Holy Terror, which by dint of not being drawn and written by Frank Miller is an actually good book.
Quiet, commie. The reason it's printed the way it is because then it's like something you can read to your kids and educate them.
I wouldn't recommend reading.
I wouldn't recommend reading anything Frank Miller has written to children.
Oh, you hate him so much. He wasn't even on Voyager.
And Frosted Glass is correct. He did stop drinking, imagine? But this was written and drawn during the period where he was still drinking. And this is when Miller was in full I don't give a fuck mode, because he was drunk and angry after September 11th. And so what? It's interesting in the interviews. He outright says, yeah, it's propaganda. He just describes it as that. He goes, yeah, it's the kind of propaganda where, and his reference is when Captain America was punching Nazis. So what? Yeah, exactly. So what? Still to the day, he makes no fucking apologies for writing it. And good, don't. If you start apologizing, it's not going to make anything better. And I don't think he actually feels sorry for having done it.
He's made art.
Murdering cult members. On a mass murdering cult members. What's to feel bad about wanting to eradicate them, imprison them, or eradicate them? I don't see the issue. I really don't. But
no, the issue isn't the premise. The issue is the fact that Frank Miller's not a very good artist or writer.
Yeah, no
so
kidding. Let it go, man. In any case, that brings us to an end of our stream. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Thank you, everybody that donated. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you, Evolved Potato, for posting our links throughout the entire stream. You are awesome. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to everybody who participated in chat, keeping it lively. It was a lot of fun reading everything you were writing. I wish my potato allowed me to interact with chat more often, but it takes like 30 seconds per character for them to show up, and that sucks. Thank you to everybody who is going to be listening in the future for checking out the stream. Please feel free to like and subscribe and share, and if you have comments, by all means, write them below. I get a chance to read all of them and respond to most, so I always love hearing what people have to say about this and that. Jack, Quiz, any final thoughts?
read some good comics, and thanks for the donations, everybody. You're awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna say read more comics, just not any written by Frank Miller.
You're just creating a Streisand effect. People are going to seek out Miller now. You know that, right?
I think that's what he's actually trying to do. He's probably got a bunch of Frank Miller posters we don't know about. Like
Hey,
a
man.
little shrine.
If I can create some actual value from those Carnage comics, then yeah, that's I'm all for that.
See, it's total reverse psychology, Polly. He loves Frank Miller. He's just trying to lie to us.
I liked Dark Knight Returns.
All right, and there it is. Have a good night, everybody.